up in the morning, sun not shine. Where we calling, crib grind on my mind. Next platforms buzzing, good vibes we send. Rise up, stack sets, let's do this again. Good morning on X, we tweeting the truth. Grinding in where every blockchain, the proof from the wallet to the moon. We holding it strong. What's the road to riches in the crypto song? Check the charts, yeah, the market's alive. BTC pumping, all coins are thriving. FTs flipping, got the rare in my black. Smart contracts clicking, no turning back. The fires, we're stacking the gains. Hotel to the dip, no stress in my veins. Post on X, GM fam, let's rise. Let's worry as we reach in the skies. Good morning on X, we're tweeting the truth. Grinding in web, the blockchain, the proof from the wallet to the moon. We holding it strong. Watch the road to riches in the crypto song. Gas fees low, yeah, we're moving with ease. Layer 2 solutions, breezing the seas. Minting new tokens, community tight. Web dreaming, we're working all night. Say GM to the fam, positivity spread. Crypto's the future, fiat's long dead. From Solana to ETH, we building the way. Rasta in the code, Jah guide us today. Yeah. I revive when the blockchain secure. Decentralized, world of vision so pure. No bank, no boss, just peer to peer. With the dream, and we're working all life. X keep us linked, the signal so clear. Tweeting GM, loud, let the whole world hear. Yo, yeah, yeah. Oh, right. Good morning on X, we tweeting the truth, grinding it.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna do this song
Here's
again. I just
Rugus.
no, yeah, I did. Well, I kind of wanted to do a remaster of this, right? I kind of wanted to edit. I kind of wanted to edit some words in this, something in the
Yeah,
lyrics,
I
and
can show you one day. I can share my screen with you, and like I'm a expert at the, not to toot my own horn, but with that Suno app,
you
I
know,
could
toot
show
your
you.
own horn.
I can show you some. I can show you some crazy stuff with it.
Yeah,
Stuff that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, or go on YouTube. There's some videos. If you search for Suno 4.5, you can find the latest version. That's the version that has new capabilities, and
Oh
so
yeah,
that's how I learned. I got better with it because I've been using Suno for a while, and so anyway,
yeah,
I just realized that I'm just like kind of giving away the
yeah, yeah,
giving.
yeah. Your alpha.
I'm gonna shut the hell up over here.
Tuck that alpha. Tuck that alpha.
Yeah,
It's for when we talk about the alpha.
tuck that. Okay, all right. Let's get some
Tuck
tunes
the alpha.
going. Oh,
Well, yeah. Hold on. Let me play this one again because I
okay.
kind of wanted to. I kind of think it's a great song to listen to. Just hands down, right? So let me just
That's
pull this
good.
up again because I opened it in the editor and that's where it stopped. I thought it was just going to continue to play, but
Yeah.
it didn't. So I'm just searching it back up again. Hold on.
How does the jumbotron look? I I've heard that there's a
Yes,
lot going on.
in the jumbotron.
Yeah, is it too
That's what it is.
much? It's a lot.
It's a lot of it. I just seen one thing.
No, on the jumbo. No, no, no. I'm saying like the screen, like the layout of the stream now is like there's just so much
Hold
going
on. Let
on.
me see.
It's I put on
There's a lot. There's a lot going on, Tick.
I put on a
Yes.
visualizer because of for the music to go with the music.
Yes. Yes. Of course. Yes.
But the guy
But
spitting the fire up in the top right, that's a little too much.
yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Yes. Maybe.
Oh, it looks like
That
Las
is, yeah.
Vegas.
There's yes. And then with the
Chaos.
visual going on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have
you
you?
guys, of
I'll
course.
turn that off.
Let me do the spiel of what this is about. Our spaces are live streamed on X and on YouTube, so you can always watch back. You're more than welcome to join us on stage. Absolutely not a problem. If you got something to share, go ahead and do it. If you just want to share, some ideas, thoughts, or just want to have a chat, that's perfectly okay too. Especially on Thursdays. Um, she might be dehydrated, right? In the idea area, and we can just vibe too, no problem. But do know that we are live streaming all of this now. If you come up to Shell and you're a project that you want to shill because you're a community and you want to shill your bullish bags, right, your portfolio, we are going to pull some stuff up and look with you on that live stream. And then if it's good, we might just actually put it a little bit on blast on that Instagram, TikTok, and these YouTube reels, right? So, but yeah, for now, let's listen to another song and welcome everybody in a good morning. When we're gonna touch on some things, Sui, we're gonna touch on some things, Airdrop Monad, right? And of course, we're going to talk about some market talk. So, what Ethereum is freaking doing. It's doing a lot, actually. Very bullish, right? So, let me just pull up this song if everything wants to work with me because I have a lot of editors open now on my screen. I'm not seeing everything. Oh, here we go. Yeah, here we go. I still need to edit this song, but I think it's just so chill, guys. Just turn it up a little
Yeah. Wake up in the morning, sun not shining. Where we calling, crib grind on my mind. X platforms buzzing, good vibes we send. Rise up, stack sets, let's do this again. Good morning on X, we tweeting the truth. Grinding in where the blockchain, the proof from the wallet to the moon. We holding it strong. What's the road to riches in the crypto song? Check the charts, yeah, the market's alive. BTC pumping, all coins are thriving. FTs flipping, got the bear in my back. Smart contracts clicking, no turning back. The files, we're stacking the gains. Hotel to the dip, no stress in my veins. Post on X, GM fam, let's rise. Let's worry as we reach in the skies. Good morning on X, we're tweeting the truth. Grinding in web, the blockchain, the no turning back. The money holding it strong. What's the road to riches in the crypto song? Gas fees low, yeah, we're moving with ease. Layer 2 solutions, breezing the seas. Minting new tokens, community tight. Web dreaming, we're working all night. Say GM to the fam, positivity spread. Crypto's the future, fiat's long dead. From Solana to ETH, we building the way. Rasta in the code, Jah guide us today. Yeah. High vibes run the blockchain secure. Decentralized world, the vision so pure. No bank, no boss, just peer to peer. With the dream, and we're working all night. X keep us linked, the signal so clear. Tweeting GM loud, let the whole world hear. Yo, yeah, yeah. Oh, God. Good morning on X, we tweeting the truth. Grinding in web, the blockchain, the proof. From the wallet to the moon, we holding it. The road to riches in the crypto song. So wake up, money, grind, don't stop. Web breaks the way, we reaching the top. Good morning on X, let's keep it real. Crypto's the fire, just love we feel. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah. I'm really feeling this song tick. I mean, I just want to. I'm gonna have to, need a hand from you because I just when I'm
Yeah.
listening to that, I got some ideas.
Yeah, no,
I got some ideas.
I'd love to show you
Yes, I
some
want to make
stuff.
a video. I want to make a video clip for this. I want to spend some time doing that. I feel like very vibey right now in the creativity area. And
Awesome.
but I actually want to sing this song in, right? So
Mhm.
I don't know in how far that I can edit it this way. I must be able to do so without with keeping some things in there,
Yeah,
switching some
you
things out,
can.
right?
You can
Yes,
strip
yes, yes.
the instrumental from it, and then
Mhm.
doing because I've done that with a couple of mine because
But
of
I
yeah.
wanna keep that rap section in there too, and then I'm gonna make well I say I'm gonna give some instructions to my animation genius that's in the house here with me,
Mhm.
my baby girl, and she will help me do a video uh, where my avatar is just vibing out and singing this song, right? So yeah. I see. I'm just inspired so much. All right, so welcome everybody. Yes, good morning. Good morning. What's the ticker? I forgot to play what's the ticker, so we do that in
Yeah,
the outro. Okay.
let's get it. Oh, I was gonna say I kind of want to grab a cup of coffee
Oh
real
yes,
quick.
just hold on. I got it here. I got it here. I got it here. All right, a
Well,
little chaotic now,
I
but
gotta get
we
some
should be
monad too.
fine. We should be fine.
I've been
Yes, yes,
trying
yes.
to milk the faucet more.
Here we go.
There we go.
What's the
What's the
ticker
ticker?
then? What's the ticker? Where's it at?
What's the
The
ticker?
ticker,
Where's
where's
it
it at?
at? What is the ticker? Where's it at? I got crypto in the bag, send the CA in the chat. Gonna ape another fat. Got a runner on the map, Solana sniping like a cat. And the Sobe is moving quickly. I'm the squeezing where they at. I'm trying to bring the mem queens back. 1,000x is gonna land. I got it chilling in the back, and the gas fees are gonna slap. Where's the ticker? Where's it at?
Yeah. All right, so now we do the welcoming. Welcome everybody to What's a Tick. Oh shit. Music just starts again. Now you have that on repeat here. Oh, this is going fabulous for this Thursday, you guys. Yeah, I have to get our act together. Um,
There we go.
I got knocked in the head yesterday, and I still, I'm not the same. But yeah, let's just roll with it, right? And keep the vibe. So let's have a look at the market first. So welcome everybody. If you want to join on stage, you're more than welcome to. I want to get to know you. So get on stage and just if we talk about you or crypto or your interest, come shill yourself, right? And see who we are. And if you have a project to shill, you're more than welcome on stage too. Again, right? I'm sure maybe some projects will fly by, and we're gonna have a listen to those. If not, we're just gonna vibe out here with fam. So and Tick and I were just having like a pre-talk before this space, talking about vibes and stuff. And really, I'm gonna dig in and hone in on that because I need a vibe crowd that I can just roll with on X and in Web3. And there's just so many people who suck your vibes in this space, right? So many people stealing content, so many people being bearish and stuff. And look, I'm like a perma bull. I'm bullish on anything, mostly myself and what I do, and other people are the people directly around me. And I just want to make everybody win, and that's how I win, and sometimes even harder, right? So I think there's really a way forward where everybody can eat good, and there'll be even more left for others, right? More an abundance mindset instead of like I got to steal somebody else's thunder or
Mm-hmm.
their money or their crypto or you're right. So, but yeah, we all know this space is kind of it's kind of very hard to do. So, yeah, let's see. I was talking in the crypto moonlight this morning, and I mentioned that 1068, and we actually went to 1066, touch that, and on especially if I look at the daily now, we're looking pretty much maxed out. That looks like a real pin doji started to form for a reversal. However, um, we need to really hold on the daily. We need 106 on the higher time frame. We need to get back to 108 if we're looking for another all-time high on that Bitcoin, right? If everybody is on the timeline so bullish, higher, higher, higher. And when that happens, for me, there's always this thing that immediately I'm going, okay, everybody's calling higher. And then I just know that the market never does what the majority is thinking. It always does the opposite. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm like, yeah, right. But okay, we're going to look for some bullish arguments here. If we are needing to do another all-time high, we kind of, on the short time frame, need to hold 106, and I would be more bullish on that 106.8. That's kind of a 106.6 on a different. I'm on the Binance, so it landed 1066 on the overall chart, all the charts all together. But I'm mostly looking on a Binance chart for me. It doesn't really matter much, right? But we need that 108 on a higher time frame. Let's see what it looks like right now on the weekly. Because we gotta have an argument and then a lot of hopium to get us into a all-time high. So I see the weekly relaxing a little bit, but still in overbought conditions on that weekly, even though we printed a beautiful dragonfly doji. So here's your hopium, that dragonfly doji on the weekly that was printed on the 2nd of June, right when we had that marvelous close on Bitcoin, the second one in a row actually, like a really good close. And when a dragonfly doji happens, it happens because the open of that week and the close of that week, that price was pretty much very close together, and that what creates a doji that has a really thin body and a really short little wick on the top and a bigger wick on the bottom. Now, the longer the wick on that doji, the more bullish and volatile price action to the upside it will indicate, right? Because dragonfly dojis are
Mm-hmm.
bullish dojis. It also doesn't matter what color the doji is. It can be red, can be green, doesn't matter. It's about how it looks. So what happens here is that bulls are buying up that price by a lot. And so, that Dragonfly Doji on the weekly, if you see them on the higher time frames, when we printed it, every time we printed it on Bitcoin, we made a big move. Um, the biggest moves are made with this doji. However, if we then see the RSI and I look back to previous Dragonfly dojis, then we see that the one that we're looking at right now on it weekly actually has the RSI in an overbought condition. And when we did a bigger rip with a doji like this, we actually were crossing up in a golden cross on the weekly in a week before that. And then we were below the 50 points. And that means that we had a lot more momentum and strength on the RSI to make a big move. And that is absolutely lacking right now. And so, the hopium here is that Dragonfly Doji. The bearish divergence that comes with that is that overbought RSI in the weekly as well. And I know that that weekly RSI is a point of discussion in the Bitcoin groups. We talk about that one by a lot, right? And every time somebody's trying to be bullish, this one comes up and is slammed in the face, like, yeah, but look, right? And they're not wrong. We have been moving in this overbought condition for a little over 3 weeks already, with a little bit of a cross down. And when that thing crosses down on the weekly, it's very, very powerful. And it takes us a long time to cross back up again because it's on the weekly. And so, yeah, the scenario that I'm more likely looking at is then we're going to move in a channel from here. Maybe we're going to attack the all time high, but being rejected from that, and then have us do that downward move over the summer, and then moving up for a bigger rip in quarter 4, because that monthly looks so juicy. The monthly looks so good, indicating quarter 4 is going to be like in 3 months from now, 3, 4 months from now, we're going to be building market structure for a big, big move on crypto or Bitcoin. So, um, with that said, what I'm looking at right now for a pattern to unfold is a bull flag, and a classic bull flag that Bitcoin likes to make is one that creates lower highs and a lower lows, right? So really channel a flag down. Now, I never seen a flag of Bitcoin being in the upward channel where we make higher highs in that flag. That is actually a kind of um, a rarity, especially for Bitcoin. So, yeah, then we just keep making steady all-time highs I would say every 2 3 weeks with Bitcoin, and then move that out into the summer, right? And then make the lower lows. And but that is a pattern that is a little unlikely. So again, when we do make an all-time high, okay, that doji says, okay, there's a possibility that doji gives us a chance. It's like a Hail Mary, but it's a chance. And so if we're looking for it, how much do we have left in the tank? Then how much can we stay overbought? And that weekly, what price range are we then looking at for Bitcoin? So, of course, I measured that already. Then I'm still looking at 116. If there's a lot of volume coming in, maybe 120 would be absolutely the max there. So, maybe if we're going to make an all-time high, then 116 is in the tank. We can do that in overbought conditions on that weekly still too. So there's another little bit of hopium. Then I'm going to look at that dominance chart to see some more hopium, because that dominance going up is actually going to be an indicator for Bitcoin, another move up. If that one lets down, then the alts are going to get some relief. And I'm just happy to see that for the last days we've been hovering in that 64 range. That's actually a really good floor for that dominance chart to have. That chart looks hella bullish. So here's another argument for another all-time high for Bitcoin. But don't get this twisted. There's a lot of bearish divergence coming in. That for now, until I see Bitcoin hold it at 108 and is gearing up, moving sideways in that 108, not losing that floor, or at least not losing the 106.8, then you get me in the corner of all-time high, and I need to see that happen. If it's not, then I'm looking for that bull flag pattern that I mentioned earlier, right? And then that is going to unfold, and so I'm going to act accordingly. Now, okay, now what does that freaking mean for your alts, right? So what we see happening a lot when that dominance drops just a little bit on Bitcoin, it's not actually the alts that are pumping; it is Ethereum, right? And if you check your in and outflow of Bitcoin, you see that most of Bitcoin goes to Ethereum and not to the rest of the market yet. And so Ethereum will then pump, but then the outflow of Ethereum, funny enough, is going back into Bitcoin, and then that makes that dominance rise again. So when everybody was expecting that alt rally, that relief rally for the alts, it did not happen, and that's because the outflow of Ethereum went into the rest of the market. No, it went straight back into Bitcoin. So what is happening? Well, it's these big whales that took profit on the all-time high in Bitcoin that started to buy ETH when ETH was on the floor, pumping volume into there, right? Making profit and using that profit to buy that little dip back on Bitcoin. That's what happened with most of the gains, right? So most of the money there. So the rest of the alts are still very much held hostage by all of this happening, not getting that outflow just yet, right? So I do believe that when if we are not going to make another all-time high, and that's becoming apparent, a lot more people are going to sell in Bitcoin, so that dominance is going to drop, and then hopefully we get some sort of relief because these alts are kind of begging for it, right? They're being like constricted by Bitcoin, but now also by Ethereum. So yeah, we just don't see that volume of Ethereum going into the rest of the market. We see it being straight away returned, injected into Bitcoin, and that's just how big money likes to play, right? Takes a profit here, put it in ETH, flip that, go back in Bitcoin, and do the same thing. And that bull flag actually is created like that. So yeah, the rest of the alts look still opportunity, right? Let me be very clear. Alt season, anything that makes that lowers the dominance a little, makes the alts pump, we call that a relief rally. It's not alt season. Alt season is actually when Bitcoin is topping out, right? When Bitcoin is due making its move to the top, when Bitcoin is pumping hard then, and at the same time that dominance drops significantly, not 5%, not 10%, but 15, 20, 25%, then the alts are going to go crazy. But it also indicates the bull run is over for Bitcoin. So everybody who is wishing for alt season should rethink maybe you're just being impatient. Because I would really like for us all to have alt season with Bitcoin at 200K or something like that. Then we have double the money in the market. My God, we're gonna have so much fun in an alt season then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bullish on doing it. So basically, that's where we're at with Bitcoin, right? And I can, because the dominance is so high. Of course, when Bitcoin is red, the rest of the market's just gonna be red. Some a little bit more redder than others. Some are holding up a little, a little. Some are maybe a little bit in the green, and then you mark those because those are bullish. So, yeah, that's the overall market thingies. Anything you want to ask or add to that, Tick?
Well, let's see. What about Sui? Sui is
Yes,
stuck at 335, was it? Let me
yes.
Sui. So that's
Well,
been it's funny to see all the memes on the timeline popping up about it's like it was one of Peter Griffin destroying his living room, and it's like all the
yeah,
Sui holders waiting for it to hit $5. And yeah, I'm like,
yeah.
yep, that's
So,
so real.
if you want to pull up that SUI chart with me,
Uh huh.
and put that one on the weekly. Now, I'm a little bit reluctant to make prediction with Sui on a weekly because it's such a young token, and the weekly is kind of a high time frame. So, but we're stepping out onto the edge here then a little. I just gotta give that right. So I'm looking on a weekly. So it is coming down in the cross down, but it's actually making a market structure that it freaking did before, and I want to kind of point that out. So if you pull that up on Trading View and you
Mm
put the Sui chart up on the weekly, yeah,
hmm. Mm hmm.
then I want you to go to the candle of September 24.
Let me see. Right
September
here.
24.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see it. The leg up right there, where the long entry is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. When we started to make that pump, and then it came down a little, and then it pumped really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see that initial move, I want you now to go to that candle of the 21st of April 25.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see it's making that same structure for a rip up.
Mm-hmm.
Also, now I want you to put that super guppy on there to confirm what you're seeing with your eyeballs, right? To have these multi moving averages on there. And it actually gives me the buy signal a little bit later than it did there, but it came in on the weekly.
Mm.
So even though that stochastic for SUI on the weekly is a little bit out there, that stochastic doesn't give me a lot of information for SUI on the weekly. That's because it's a young token. So that time and momentum thing is a little bit off on the stochastic on the weekly. So it gives you a little bit of a false signal. And it's better to look at that stochastic on the daily. But the moving averages and the market structure it's building on that weekly is very evident and clear. So it looks like it wants to make that move, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So I saw that, and I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. Um, if did you see the guppy also giving you a signal there? It's the same signal it gave in September, right?
Yeah,
24.
the bright green one.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. That is a buy signal. Every time that comes in, it's pretty much ripping. So
Wow.
yeah.
Very
So,
bullish.
but look, that's on the weekly, and if you count how long it took for that buy signal on September to really start making the confirm the big
Yeah.
move, it
Yeah.
went. We got that
2 months.
signal in the 23rd of September exactly, and when we really started to make a big move, when was that? The
Mm-hmm.
4th of November.
Yeah.
Yes. So uh, that weekly it actually indicates what's going to unfold over the first.
Well, and then it
Let's
pumped
see.
for a week too. Those two candles that, well,
Oh
actually
yeah.
no longer than that. I'm sorry. It pumped for about a month until it
Yes, a
hit.
whole
Yeah,
month, everything
down.
was up every day. As everybody was bullish, it was Sui on
Yeah.
the timeline everywhere. Everybody is suddenly bullish on Sui, and so let's talk about Sui's meteoric rise. Golden Cross signals a potential 380% explosion. Now let's have a look at that because when I hear that, I'm always like, all right, that's what that sounds like a lot bullish, and I really want to believe it. So let's just see why they get that from, and if I can see that too, right? So Sui has quickly become a standout performer in the crypto market, posting a dramatic 150% gain from 1.71 to $4.30. Yet, not all is smooth sailing. At 215 million token unlock in June the 1st, 25 threatens to introduce major selling pressure, but that didn't happen, right? That didn't happen. So it didn't every time Sui unlocks with tokens, there's nothing that really happens in the chart that is bearish, right?
Mm-hmm.
So according to Sir Richard's latest update on X, Sui has exhibited notable price swings, but its long-term outlook remains firmly bullish. The token recently pulled off a remarkable 150% rally, climbing from a low of 1.78 to a high of $4.30. This explosive move caught the attention of traders, especially as it coincided with a golden cross formation on the daily chart. All right, let's. He's saying that. Now I'm going to go to that daily chart to see what he's talking about because I know what he's talking about. I've seen already, but I want you to just talking you through it.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, on next. Let's do it again. I'm just really vibing with me. I just have it in my head.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's pull that up here too. And we're going to put that on the daily. Well, yeah, I see a different cross on the daily, but hey, let's keep on reading. Okay. Classic technical signal that often precedes major bullish continuation. So, based on this setup, Sir Richard believes we could be preparing for an even more significant leg up, potentially targeting new highs around $7.56. All right. So, remember what my target was, what my golden pocket expansion says for Bitcoin for Sui? $7.30, and he's on $7.56.
Mm.
So he's a little I think he's overextending maybe because he uses a different chart. I don't know.
Mm.
But I know how he got to 7.56 because that's the golden pocket extension, right? So if you do price prediction, we're using a Fibonacci extension.
Mm.
So if this plays out, it could represent a staggering 380% gain from earlier levels. However, he also warns that the journey may not be without obstacles, particularly as other technicals and fundamental signals begin to surface. Yes, I, there is a reason, a bearish divergence, right? And he's not pointing that out too. So this is how bearish divergence always works. When you're bullish, and sometimes it creates, most of the time it creates a bearish divergence. That's because what comes up must come down, and sometimes that bearish divergence is going to tell us that it does not always play out, but 80% of it plays out usually,
Mm.
especially in the high time frames. So a recent bearish crossover in the exponential moving averages, the EMA, may hinder Sui's bullish momentum in the short term. Additionally, the token unlock, when are you talking about? June, that already happened. So that, yeah, that it wasn't the risk. So just skip back there.
Mm.
Currently, the support lies between 340 and 343. I disagree. I think it's lower for Sui, and we kind of tend to see that. I think the support range is exactly on $3.27. So I disagree with this person. Anyway, move on. A firm breakout above this level would reignite bullish momentum, paving the way for Sui's next upward surge. Bearish wind looms, but on-chain strength holds ground. On the other hand, if the bearish sentiment intensifies, the price could fall toward the $2.33 level. All right, let me look at that because I don't know what he's talking about. What did he say? $2.23?
Get down. Yeah.
Where did he
Two
get
dollars.
this from?
Yeah. Let me see two.
He must be on a different chart. $2. No, the first support zone. Let me have a look at that. The first support is again on that 272, and then I'm on the wick, and then the last one should be at $2.30, or even 244 and 230. So if you can't hold 244, it's going to 233. I don't know where you get that from. He might be on a different. I'm gonna cut him slack, and he might be on a different chart looking at this. Such a move would likely challenge bullish confidence and introduce volatility in the near term. Despite this, the broader outlook is supported by the impressive network's activity. Sui's ecosystem has seen over 40 billion aggregators volume and a significant metric pointing to strong participation and interest. Even more encouraging is the 24% increase in activity over the last 30 days, highlighting a growing user base and rising utility. Yeah, and this is what the strength is of Sui, right? So that team on Sui is really looking outbound out of crypto. They want their ecosystem, their blockchain to be used outside of crypto. So what does that look like? All right, well, people then going to use Sui without knowing they're going to use Sui. They're not so much catering to or looking for the volume to come out of the crypto village itself, right? Where they really want to be out in the world, having quote unquote normies to use it, and that's really what their strength there is. They want to have builders. They invest in builders. They want to have utility, and we see that grow increasingly, especially the last half of the year was very, very an uptrend in uptick in that, and that will make people use Sui. And so it has seen that 40 billion in aggregator volume. So that's on the rise. And when that is rising and a blockchain is used, it's bullish, right? That's why you have a blockchain. It needs to be used. So these fundamentals serve as a strong counterbalance to short-term risks. If sustained, they could provide a firm foundation for renewed bullish momentum. As such, any price dip may offer a fresh opportunity for long-term investors. So if you're DCA, this is a yay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So Yeah, a bullish outlook for SUI on the long term, right? So that's what I kind of like went over with you with when you did your DCA strategy. Is like, where should I put my orders? It's like, well, just sometimes it's more important not to look at the chart and do your consistency over time thing, right?
Mm,
Do that consistency over time thing. If Friday is your DCA day, do that every Friday. Just keep being consistent, no matter where the chart is, right?
yeah.
You're optimizing by trying to buy dips, and of course that's going to be helpful, even more helpful. But it's already very helpful to introduce some behavior where you are just doing something consistently, and you don't have to do that with all you got. You can do that with $5, $10, but start somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same for Bitcoin. Start somewhere. Start then. If you only have $5, then just buy $5 worth, right? And everybody, I don't know, I cannot look into your wallet, but most people, for me, $5 is not much, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can miss that. I spent that, I can buy freaking, I'm at the dollar store and I can spend $5 on, come home and think it's totally worthless, right? So uh, just buy then $5 because you do it then with money that isn't not a big amount for you to be worried around or get bearish around when price is down. You're just going to spend then five more bucks. So yeah.
Yeah, so I've also been trying to switch it up. I don't know if this is wise, but Sei I've kind of wanted to incorporate into my portfolio as well. And Sei chart looks like a Solana meme coin right now. It
Yeah.
looks so
So
bad.
yeah, let's
But I mean,
talk about it.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy some because it's so cheap. But at the same time, I'm like, is this stupid of me? I kind of feel stupid buying it. But
Look,
I
look.
see it on my
Hindsight is
timeline.
2020.
Yeah.
Hindsight is 2020. So we don't. This is the thing, right? When you look back on a chart, you can see where you should have bought and you should have sold, very clear. But when
Mm-hmm.
you start buying, of course, it's not so clear. So for SAE, I'm actually gonna look on that one on a daily too,
Yeah, it's
because
down like
yeah, I
hell. So
did
that's
that.
why I bought some. But
It is still bearish on the daily. It has not flipped bullish on the daily SAE, so
yeah,
be careful there.
yeah.
The lower price might actually be in that 15-cent zone. So
Mm,
I'm not saying be careful, don't invest. I'm just saying this is kind of like a new support it's landing on. So if it holds this, it's gonna take. It's about to flip bull on the daily. So yeah, but if then Bitcoin does a poopy down now, it will lose its floor
yeah,
too because of the
yeah,
dominance. So that's why I just say just be consistent over time with this, and then you're gonna buy some here, but you're gonna also buy some there, and it will average you better. But it is still very much bear. It does want to make market structure for another leg up, but then when I look at say because I like to do the future trading on CE. It kind
yeah,
of gives me a little bit of spikes. Yeah, I'm doing some longs, doing some shorts. Right? I did a lot of shorting on CE the last months, but now I'm looking for more for longs.
yeah,
I'm looking more for longs, and it's actually building market structure to go leg up. But it also gets if you draw a trend line from that. If you put it on a daily, you draw a trend line. So you go to your little stick toolie on the left side
uh huh,
of your screen, right? And you draw a trend line from that wick, the highest wick, to the second highest wick, and then down. You see that it gets pressure from these points. So what then is going to be the next thing for CE? Well, depending on timing, but I can see that it's going to pull up to that 40 cents, almost 39 cents. When it gets there, it's probably going to be knocked down again somewhere. Well, this actually corresponds with 40 cents more. So I would say 40 cents. And I'm probably going to get a knockdown somewhere in this area again, right? Be touching this area. And then go to 32 cents and possibly get over that trend line there. But when you draw a trend like that, the moment that you're looking for a swing trade, you want to see it over that line, so over the 40 cents with a confirmation candle next to it. So a whole candle over the trend line. That indicates confirms a bullish momentum. That's where you take an entry for a swing trade. Not lower, not lower, because that pressure can last a little bit longer. It can actually last all the way to November. See? Because if we take that, that's how you do your timing in crypto, your trading, right? So you draw that trend line all the way down over these tops, and then you see that price squeeze. That is going to be somewhere in November, in the beginning of November for this one. Now it can still break out before that, but then you got to have that confirmation over that trend line. As long as it's not over that trend line, bullish ground has reversal is not happening. So if you're trading a swing trade, on the reversal, it's got to be with a candle over that trend line. If not, don't take the trade. So a swing trade setup always looks, wait for the confirmation, get on board, because when it does that reversal, it will actually do some higher pumps and you will get like these 100%, 150%, 120% swing trades.
Mm-hmm.
But you do not swing trade this before, because that is not confirmed a reversal until it goes over this important long-term trend line, because it's getting
So tell me, how do I draw the trend line? I was trying to figure it out, and
oh
which
I
candles
thought you already did that.
yeah, I was trying to, and I
Let's
I
do
don't think
this
I was
again.
doing it correctly because I wasn't. So which candles the top of the wick on which two?
So do you have your little trend liney
Yeah.
toolie,
Mm-hmm.
like your stick? So we're gonna draw a little stick that starts at the top of that wick, because I like to measure this on wicks, not on. I'm a wick trader. I trade on wicks. That's higher risk, but I kind of managed to be better at it than candles
So is
bodies, right? So
December of 24?
no, 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 no. The high was in March 24.
Oh, hold on. This one. Okay, March 24. I see it. I had to zoom out. Okay,
See that
cool.
that wick? Okay, so then we're gonna start there,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna go down a diagonal to look for the second highest wick,
December of
and
24.
that is in December 24. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you're gonna go down from there. There's no other wick to land on, but we're just gonna go have that straight edge from there. Let me see on the live stream if you got this. And you got this on the live stream?
Oh, is it? Am I not sharing the right screen? Oh yeah, it's on the
I
live stream. Yeah.
I don't I don't see it. This is well, it could be
Um.
me.
Yeah. Or what? What don't? Yeah, no, I got the screen up. Let me double check. It should be.
Oh yes, I see you now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you go from there, and then you're gonna extend it. So now we have it from one to the other,
Uh huh.
right? And now you're gonna go to that December one, pick it up from there, and prolong that all the way straight down.
To the current timeline, or
No,
to
you can just do it straight down. Just do it.
like
Take it.
this.
Yeah, and now have that. Yes, but have it land still. Have it support still on that wick. Yes, 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 yes. Bring it down and down. Yeah. See where my timeline is now? Okay, stop where the price is now. Yeah. Usually you do that on the lowest price. Yeah. See what I mean with a confirmation. If you trade a swing trade here, it will get pressure from that line. So that is going to be a target for maybe a future trade, but it's not a good swing trade. It's not enough for a swing trade. A swing trade we take with a confirmation on these time frames. So what we see how it lands somewhere in November,
Mm-hmm.
that trend line, somewhere in
Yeah.
November, right? So is there going to be reversal in November, or are we going to go moves before? It can make moves before, but what's then the move it needs to make to confirm? Well, you know, all the way up to that. So take your sticky tool again.
Uh huh.
Now go to the price of today, and then draw a diagonal. And this is going to be a potential move, right? Just to show you what I mean.
To draw the stick to where?
Oh no, hold on, come on to my menu. Go to your free drawing, your little brush. Go to your brush
Uh huh.
and do take the maybe the path for you is not. Um, yeah, hold on. Oh, what about Fibonacci's? Because usually that's like an ABC up, but all right, geometric. Go to your go to just take the brush, just go draw it with ourselves. Go take the brush, put the brush on, and
Mm-hmm.
now you're gonna draw. Look at you. What are you
Oh no,
doing?
I'll fix it. I'll fix it. All right. So draw the brush
Pump,
where?
pump. Yeah, you're brushing all over the place.
All right.
So you go from the price of today and just make like a zigzag move up to that trend line.
Zigzag like like that.
So go to, yeah, go to the price of today. Yeah, start there. And then just like a chart would move up to that trend line, right?
Okay.
So make a little bit of a higher
Right.
high, blah,
Right.
blah, blah.
That's what
And then
Perplexity said too, that it needed to hit the
yes.
30-cent
Well,
mark
yeah. Okay.
as a
Yeah.
breakout, a
Yes,
bullish
exactly.
breakout
Do
at
you
30
see this?
cents. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, it
exactly.
says right here, technical structure and recent price action. Say recently bounced sharply from a major support level, aligning with Elliott wave analysis that suggests the token is entering an impulsive wave 3, which typically the strongest upward phase in a 5-wave
Yes,
cycle. If say
yes.
breaks above the 30-cent level, it would provide the first clear evidence of bullish continuation. So it's exactly what you're saying. It confirms that. That's pretty.
Yes, I'm teaching you technical
That's
analysis,
that's very cool.
actually. But
Yeah.
let's go into that chart again. I'm sorry if this is, if you're listening to this, guys, and boring to you. This is just what we're gonna do then today, and just teach you something you can go back and in the live, and see how you can write easily. Because these, I'm giving you now some easy tools. Right now, I always go back and do the metrics on it to see if I'm right, right? To test my theory. But this is going to help you out. Right. You could be insta 200% better in trading just drawing a trend line like this, right? And then knowing what it needs to do, how to trade that trend line, right? With different trades. So if we see bullish momentum up, I know that trend line is going to give pressure. So we are going to get a reaction from that trend line. So I can, let's say, open a future because from here to there, I mean, for a swing trade, that's only going to be like what, 15%, 20%? That's not a good swing trade for me. That might be a good future trade for me, though, right? So, a future trade, I would trade on a trend line. A swing trade, you always want a swing trade to make a swing trade setup will always be big gains, 50%. 100% rips, 150% rips. And
Mm-hmm.
these don't happen in 24 hours like your futures are usually, faster. Um, open, but a swing trade can be open for a week, right? For that all to unfold. But we know it's going to unfold because we need confirmation and we waited
Mm-hmm.
for that confirmation. So I'm going to go look at the, so go back to the chart again.
Mm-hmm.
Are you back?
Yeah.
So now we're going to come up on that trend line and I want you to draw a little bit of down from that, from the trend line down. Yeah, because that's what it's going to do. Yeah, just draw over that. It's,
Let me see. So draw from right here. So go like this.
yeah, from
Or
there. So basically we got there, right? We pumped boom, boom to the trend line, and this is then what we need to see happen. So go down, do a retouch of the previous wave. That's usually what happens.
previous. Oh, okay. Yeah.
That go take go draw from that trend line, that touch of the trend line that you
Uh huh.
got there. You're too high with your cursor. Down, down, down. Go on the trend line, draw a little bit down, something that lands with that previous wave high, the previous swing high.
Let me see. So down. That goes with
No,
the
on the
previous.
trend line. So
Uh
we
huh.
pumped, hypothetically we pumped to the boom, boom, boom. We went zigzagging up to the trend line, and now we're gonna get a rejection from the trend line,
Yeah.
and the trend line is gonna confirm always, if we're bullish, always the last swing high. So that is the top of that last wave. That last wave that is called which one? That is in May, 14th of May, somewhere, 12th of May, somewhere. So what we want to have happen
Oh,
is
right
we
here.
get that rejection. We're gonna touch that tip of that. We're gonna touch that 27 cents again, or in roundabout.
Like this.
Yeah.
Like that. Straight down like that.
Yeah, but from the trend line, right? So we're, because we're there, we just do a hypothetical pump. So
I
you
don't
draw
know.
that zigzag line. Now you're
Yeah.
at the end of that. Start at the end of that zigzag line. Yeah.
Okay. So at the
Yeah.
end of the zigzag.
Yeah. And then you're gonna go. There's gonna be a red candle from there. So put your cursor on the trend line. Where? You just draw, yep, there, and then you're gonna go down.
Straight
No,
down.
that would be no, that would be a confirmation you're drawing right now, almost, right? This never happens what you're drawing right now.
Mm.
Well, it does when it's when the market is bearish. A lot of these patterns start out, but we're looking for bullish continuation. So, um, yeah, from there where you are, just draw straight down. We're gonna get a rejection on a daily candle,
Oops.
not on many moons like you're
Right,
drawing here.
right, right.
So, so
So straight down.
just delete that one. The second one you draw, delete that one. That's not it. So I just want a straight little candle down from there.
Down.
That one needs to be gone. This is what you that zigzagging down on the trend line is not what we're looking for.
This straight line down like that, right?
No, that's the trend line. You just draw that zigzag line, the last one you draw zigzag.
Oh, move it over
That
to
one
the
needs to be gone.
left.
No, to the right. That one you just draw on the trend line. Yeah, that one. You just moved it. Delete.
Okay, here. So
The last
delete that. Okay.
the last one you draw that you drew. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that is more like it. Yeah, that's something I was like looking for a straight down, not necessarily zigzag. This is straight down, right? The retouch at 27 area, the previous swing high. That is the pattern that I'm
Oh.
looking for.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. There,
Okay.
go down, straight line down to that previous swing high. Right?
Straight line down from here to the previous
To
high?
27 cents. 27 cents is the swing high, the last swing high.
I'm so confused. I'm sorry.
And that doesn't matter. You see that previous top
Okay.
that we didn't drew, but we just came down from.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that price we want to land on there. That needs to be that is gonna be retouched as support at 27 cents.
Uh-huh.
So take your cursor now down, and yeah, we're going way too much down, but that does okay.
Because there's a lag. So whatever
Yeah,
I
there.
do, there's like a
Oh,
second behind
okay,
whatever I
sure.
do. So that's why it's
This
kind of
this
confusing.
looks good too. Could be a scenario too. It's fine. So we got so yeah, let's leave that. And perfect. That's fine. And now you're gonna be at the end of that.
Uh-huh.
And now we're gonna see. Now I'm gonna teach you what a breakout the pattern that we need to look for. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So to have drawn that keeps you a visual in your mind now of what needs to happen and what a confirmation looks like when it broke out of its range. So yeah, do that down again. So we landed on the 20. We're retouching 27 cents. Waiting for you to make that little move down. Just a little candle on down.
Make it down from here. From
No, we pumped up to the trend line.
okay. So
we're making
here,
boom,
and then we
boom,
go
boom.
straight down to what? Just back to
No,
the.
no. Go back to the price of today.
Let's see. So today's price.
Yeah.
Right here.
No, where it stopped, where we are now. Exactly where we are now. That
Yeah.
candle of today.
Yeah, the 19 cents. 19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we okay. And now so we're gonna draw it up to that trend line.
So from here to the trend line.
Hold on.
Like
I'm gonna draw it on mine, and then I'm gonna show you. Now I'm gonna have a different view than you on it, because I have some just different technicals. This is what I'm looking for. Come on, I'm getting my brushy. So like this, and this is then the confirmation. Okay, I'm gonna do a print screen and send it to you. Right. It's gonna take me a while because I'm working on the Mac with a different screen thing. So, all right. I was gonna send it to you in the TG. And then you can draw it for yourself. You see what I mean. So I have it in yellow with a little bit of a thick brush because that's how I do things. I'm sorry, you guys. Just have patience here, right? Just trying to do some teaching.
yeah, it's so difficult because as you're watching me, it's like a couple seconds behind. So you'd be like, oh yeah, right
Yeah,
there,
so
right
it's so
there. But it
difficult.
was
That's
where
why.
I
Yeah,
had
that's why
just
I'm just
been.
gonna.
So
And I
clarifying
cannot do
was
it for you because I draw it on the chart now already like 100 times. I'm like, yeah, this way. But yeah, see, I'm not there. So let's go do this and do this and do this. There we go. And if it's all right, I can send it to you now. In the yeah, in the TG. All right. Oh yeah, just do that. So there we go. So here we gonna go. Because I want now for you to see what I mean, right? So that is why it's so hard to teach people when you don't have visuals, right? And even with guiding a voice, it's going to be a little bit difficult.
no, it's yeah,
All
for
right,
sure.
here we go. That is what I want you to draw. So I want you to draw the rejection from that trend line, retouch that former price, hop over, confirm, we're off to the races. And this is a swing trade setup. This is what it looks like.
Let me see. So yeah, it's still waiting on the image to transfer. Oh man.
Sure, sure. And this, you guys, never fails. If you set up your swing trades like this, of course, they don't come around every day. You got to look for them. You know, for a long time, I went through that line, 3, 4, 500 tokens to look for swing trade setups because I had that copy account on the Bitty Kitty. But so you know, I felt pressure to perform, so I was always looking for setups. And in swing trades, you want to do rips. You don't want to. A 10% swing is not a swing trade, you guys. It's more scalping, if anything else.
Mm.
I'm not saying you're wrong, right? But if you want to do a focus on bigger moves, then this is going to be your setup, and they're going to be on higher time frames. They're going to be on the 3, 4 hour or the dailies, and these are then going to unfold within 3 to a week. So you have a trade open for 3 to 7 days, let's say, right? You're gonna look at the chart, of course, and you're gonna then when you see a setup like this, you also, of course, need a target. Are you not seeing?
The no, the image hasn't transferred.
Eh?
Did you send it to me on TG?
Yes, I
Um,
just did.
yeah, no, I haven't. Uh,
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong TG. I'm talking to somebody else. Sorry.
no worries.
This is I love my new medications that I have for a little bit.
Hmm.
It really mellows me out. There we go. Maybe too mellow. Here, here. Okay, we're here. See
Okay,
it?
cool. All right,
All right. See this?
so
See that green trend line I'm drawing with yellow?
uh-huh.
Trying to give me the person's trying to give me a god candle. Yes.
So
This is
and
gonna
then
be this
where
is the conversation we could bring.
what I don't see though is where you were saying it comes back down. So I take the paintbrush and I draw up, and then
Just try
um,
and draw the same, and just go get that rejection. So the initial pump up to there is gonna get a rejection. We're gonna test some lower price, right? Then we're gonna go hop over, confirm trend line as support, and there is where you take your swing trade. When that trend line is confirmed and holding as support, then we have confirmation to
hmm,
go up. Yeah.
yeah. So we got a ways to go. Damn. Well, that's gonna be a bag that I just hold for a while. I don't know. I don't know if I should if it would it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm like, if it drops 20%, do I just hold? Or if it drops 10%, do I sell and buy back
Now
in?
this is depending. Look, are you if you are trying to make a swing trade, you are not getting in until the trend line is confirmed.
Yeah,
So that means not here, right?
yeah.
Right? Because we're waiting for that breakout. That trend line to be broken. Then retest it as support. That's confirmation, and then you have confirmation. It's gonna do a a, a, a bigger rip
Mm-hmm.
because that is indicating a reversal, and you want to trade that reversals. These are the best. These have the most volume. This is where you trade 60 to 150% on a swing trade. And that's where these swing trades are then valuable. right? Swinging for 20% on something that you don't have confirmation on is going to be hella risky, because especially with this dominance of Bitcoin, right? If Bitcoin is like this, then your trade is just out the door, and you're
Mm.
now even stomped out. So now what you're going to do? You're going to have to sell at a loss, and you
Yeah.
didn't win a trade, you
Yeah.
lost money.
Right.
So, but if you're doing a DCA strategy, this all doesn't, you could give a flying F for this to happen,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if you're a swing trader, this is going to be, and if you like to swing trade, you need to look for technical patterns like this. You
Mm-hmm.
need confirmation. The more confirmation, the better, right?
Yeah.
Because if you, sometimes it's a little neither here nor there. This cannot look very strong, and then I still would take the trade, but then I would do it with less money, right? Because it might look a little sketch, and it's sometimes not as clear as this. But start with the ones that look really clear to you, that look like this, right? They're gonna make moves like this. So if
Mm-hmm.
it made hopped over that trend line, confirmed that trend line as support, then it's off to the races we go. So especially in the higher time frames, it's just that don't sit there and be like an hour passed by, nothing happened. No,
Yeah.
if you're trading on the daily, that's gonna that 150% pump you're looking for is gonna unfold over the week,
Mm.
and it sometimes might even retrace just a tiny bit again, right? Um, and then the next target, now I have that next target a little bit too high on there. I would actually trade that swing trade back on the previous big high that in the middle, right? And then a little below that. And trade that on a body to be sure, not a wick. So usually it wicks out. So I just always set my target a little bit higher there. But if you're not sure, have two targets to exit. 50% exit there, 50 a little bit higher. Yeah. If it doesn't go a little bit higher, then you can always sell that 50% extra.
That's what I
But
was
then you
thinking.
try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you try it for more gains there. So this is what a always, this never fails, a swing trade looks like this. A swing trader waits for confirmation. So we have actually 80% security. This is going to be a good swing trade, and we are going to make it.com, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anything below that trend line, an entry there for a swing trade, too risky. Too risky, because it actually can take, if you're measuring the timeline on this, it can take to fucking November to make this move.
Mm-hmm.
I'm drawing it that it making it from here, but it kind of needs to make that move now from here.
Yeah.
And if you can tell, that puts us out a few weeks. So if I see trend lines like this, I actually mark it on my in my uh, trading view with a color that indicates that I need to look at this thing again in a month from now for a swing trade.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And that's how I go through all the charts looking for these trades, right? If I do swing trades, I'm looking for these setups. I'm looking for these setups only. I'm not looking for any other entries. I'm just filtering on these setups on usually higher time frames, daily, 4 hour, right? Because these bigger pumps, like 150% on all tokens, don't happen in an hour, you guys. So you got to be
Right.
on a fourth and daily, and so. But if you then have like 300-400 tokens you're sifting through, there's always a couple, right? Then and then you just mark them when the other ones are due to make a pump like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're just gonna, so you always have like a future trade to look at, right? In the future, like two,
Yeah.
3 weeks, I will pull them up, say again for that trade, and be like, hey, what is it doing? Is it doing that confirmation thing? All right, cool. I'm getting in, right? I'm taking that trade. So this is what a swing trade setup is, very different from any other setup, right? Or any other strategy or trading thing. So I mean, a future would be almost this would be a banger future too, right? That if you're a swing trader waiting for a confirmation, I'm not necessarily waiting for confirmation on a short term future. I'm trading that one on a 1 hour, 2 hours, something like that. Sometimes the half hour if I'm expecting a little bit of a bigger move. But yeah, there we're trading with more risk because trading futures is trading magnifies gains, but it's hella risky. But sometimes you put in like a long, and then you're looking for this setup as well. And I did the same setup with Sui, and did my long at my entry was my entry for that long was 56 cents, It was under the confirmation, but I kind of felt the vibe, so I did it anyway. Opened that long, rode that all the way to $5.10. I closed it at $5.10 in the target one, and I after it didn't pump as high anymore, I just closed the rest at $4.90. That was the best long that I've made in a long time in 24.
Wow.
So you're looking for, if you open a long there, you see that confirmation. You are trading a future. You can, and you do it on 20x, 40x. You're looking at 4 or 5,000% gains, right? In these moves. And
Mm.
this is why it's important for you guys to learn this, right? Learn these pattern breakouts, wait for confirmation. So we are 80% sure this is going to be a good haul. Anything under that trend line is quicksand. Quicksand. We can go down further because if you draw a little trend line under the lows, you can see that it has the ability to go a lot more down. Right. Yeah, a trend line from up and the trend line from down. It kind of gives you the channel within it wants to move. But we'll tap on that another time because I'm gonna be afraid. Heart, show some hearts if you're liking this stuff, or else I'm just gonna assume you're just sitting through this, being kind of bored as content.
Oh yeah, it's got to be painful. Oh man, I apologize.
Uh,
It's just looking
yeah.
at the reason I bring it up is because the CE chart, when you look at it on like the weekly, it almost looks like a Solana meme coin or something. The way it just like looks like a
Yes,
rug.
but I do have to say again, right? This weekly chart for these younger tokens
Yeah.
are giving you some false signaling, and
Mm-hmm.
you might also, what people forget, that you're really bullish on that weekly, but that weekly can actually predict very far out, right? And then then the money, the investment versus time potential is then coming into play. So if I don't mind $500 or $1,000 to be stuck in there for weeks on end, let's say even 2 months, then I don't care, right? But then I will trade that for this way. But for me, I will trade this on that breakout when it's due because I can do a lot more trades with that money in 2 months' time.
Mm-hmm.
So and also one thing for that weekly chart for the young tokens, it can give you a little bit of a false signal, right? Bitcoin is having a lot of history. Looking at Bitcoin and the weekly and monthly is super bullish thing to do. But for anything that's out, because they're young, they're volatile, so they will not adhere to maybe these weekly changes. And then the daily might be, or the daily or 3 day is like giving you better indication of what's going on. And that's just because the project is young and the chart doesn't have that history. It's still very volatile. And that weekly doesn't give you a lot of information. Then that on Bitcoin it does, because even though Bitcoin is against the stock market also volatile, it is the most stable crypto that we got. So that weekly over there is actually giving you some good alpha on what's going on with Bitcoin. It actually predicts there the big moves on Bitcoin are on the weekly, and the macro yearly moves are really seen on that monthly really clearly on Bitcoin. So that's why learning TA, it might be better to start studying the chart a little bit of Bitcoin, because it's easier to predict what Bitcoin is going to do than, let's say the altcoins, any altcoin for that matter, because they all, when the dominance is high, they're all going to do what Bitcoin does, right? So you got to look at Bitcoin. Because especially the younger tokens won't adhere to the rules, because if Bitcoin then shoots down, the levels that you marked as support zones, it actually will fall through, and that's just because price hasn't been there lots yet. It's a young chart, and so these supports for these alt tokens, these younger tokens, are often um, a not so strong support. But that also on the flip side goes for their resistance. Their resistance is also not that great. Like Bitcoin has sometimes a resistance that takes it weeks to take that resistance out, right? But these younger charts actually, because price hasn't touched there a lot, that resistance is a lot weaker too. So the support is a lot weaker, but so is the resistance, and that's why they can make like volatile upside potential. But there's also that volatile downside potential for them too. So that's just the alpha on that. But yeah, let's move on a little bit because that was kind of like
Yeah,
a
that
big
was a
explanation on swing
yeah.
trades. Maybe we should just touch on that again and then be prepared with what we want to show because this was kind of like a
I was a little rough.
freestyling.
Yeah.
Freestyling. Yes, yes. And I was showing that chart in completely the wrong TG, and
Oh, that's awesome. They're like, what the
no, I
hell's going
kind of
on
wrote
here?
somebody else that was getting extra. Hey, you want to give me a card candle Wilder? No.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah, that's weird.
That's
Wrong
awesome.
TG. It's funny. All right, so no, let's just not. Let's go back to something else then. Because Len pointed something out about Monad that I wanted to touch on. But is there anything you wanted to bring to the table, Tick, before we go on?
Oh,
Maybe.
that was all I got for today, and I appreciate you going over that with me because it's definitely giving me some perspective and peace of mind. Because I'm like, okay, cool. Well then, we're
Look, when I'm
still,
done with you,
yeah,
you're gonna be even better than me at trading. All
awesome.
right.
Yes.
So we just manifest that. Yes, right. It's gonna be sometimes. Right now, you're like, yeah, I'm not seeing this, but the more you will draw these things, the more you will start to pick up on those in the charts. That does not fail, right? It will happen. You will start to see these things, and then when you cannot never unsee it again. So
Yeah.
once you get it, you cannot unsee these. You'll be looking at a chart, be like, oh yes, this, and then it will come automatically to you recognize it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just something that you need to train. Everybody can do this, right? You don't have to be the rocket science.
Right.
Most of the
Right.
things are just recognized. Yeah, and also be very and this is where a lot of traders go wrong is that they actually project something on the chart that they want to see happen because they want to make a trade. And I recognize this because sometimes I get that too, especially if there's not that I don't see it on a daily. Maybe other people see it, but at that moment in time, that day, I'm not seeing the trades. And then here's my response to that because I feel the pressure of having to make a trade. I start to put more arguments in the chart for a bullish scenario that's not there. And I'm just gonna hope you it up. Not, and that is not a good trade, right? I should not make a trade. Some days it's better not to trade, and then you win that way, right? So sometimes you gotta recognize, okay, I'm making too much. Now has to do like a 10 different things for me to be bullish and make some money. And of course, that can unfold, but if it needs to be 10 things, it becomes ten times more unlikely, right? Uh, so then just, a lot of people then feel the pressure of making a trade. Sometimes it's also good not to make a trade. Recognize this, that you're not seeing it that day. Right? I'm not locked in enough. I'm not tuned in. I'm not vibing with it. And then, it can
Yeah.
actually cost you money. So not making a trade keeps you from getting wrecked in that case too. Especially
Absolutely.
when you future trade, because sometimes you get also greedy there because you can make some good gains and you just want to repeat that, right? And then you're gonna look for other trades that might not be there. You might not be seeing it. So there's the alpha on that. So if you guys are in the audience, if you have questions around this or on any other question, or maybe you have something you have a question about technical analysis or anything else, or you just want to come up here and share, yes, you're more than welcome to do that. Good
Um,
morning, our next
I'm not sure if my connection is shoddy, um, or what's going on, or if I just had too many browser windows open. But can anyone confirm if is it just me or is Wilder's connection? Uh, Let me see. I'm seeing clapping. Maybe it's
It's
just
looking
me.
like
Maybe it's just me then. Okay.
as MetaX is coming up. I don't know. Maybe it's me.
Yeah, I wasn't
Hey,
sure if.
are you hearing me all right?
Yes, I can hear
Good.
you both all right.
Oh,
Okay.
Tick sometimes ticks out a bit, but it's okay.
Yeah,
see, too many tabs open.
I think that
That's the
mine is
deal.
cutting in and out a little bit. I closed all my tabs to try to fix it, but cool. I think I'm okay. I've just had a couple technical issues. My freaking wireless headphones
Yes.
just like disconnected mid conversation too, so that was really
Oh yes.
yeah.
Good.
But yeah, so what's
Yeah,
is
all good.
does and hey, what's up, Meta? Good to see you, man. And all the Doginal crew, Coach, Thousand X. What's up, you guys? And you were saying Lamb's got some alpha. Where's the alpha? What's the ticker? Where's it at?
Well, is it? Well, here it is. Now it's about Monad, but let's say hi to Meta first. Meta, how you doing today? Wie geht's? Wie geht's?
Es geht gut. Goody goody. Yeah, just trying to fix some stuff. Yep.
It's fixing Thursday. Tell you that much.
It's a fixing week, I guess, for me.
Yeah, everybody says it's Thursday, but I am very well hydrated. It's just that everything breaks down around me. But let's go.
Okay.
Not for real. So something is trending in here called tampon Tim. Why is that trending in politics? That's weird. Anyway, let's not get distracted. So, Lamb, and pinned it up in this space this morning too, and on Monad, and like 11 hours ago, and all they posted was wait.
Oh
I'm just gonna
God.
go look under it. Yeah, they just the alpha is wait.
Another
And
initial attention offering.
waiting and ready. I'm just in there with my. I almost leaked the documents. Wait, because next week is a big week. Been waiting all my life. Monad intern, don't make me wait again. Wait, mainnet. Okay, waiting. Everybody's waiting. Wait. Life has no meaning. Monad. Wait. Oh, this is a great. Oh, that is actually. Oh, hold on, I'm gonna look it up. I think that's a great meme. It's actually making me laugh. Hold on. I'm gonna get Mona. I'm gonna have to look it up on the phone here. Okay. Looking at the screen, looking at my phone. I'm sorry if I did a bad job today replying everybody back there. Good morning. It's just that at one point my head started to explode a little bit again with all that I needed to do today. So forgive me. Pin this up. All right. So that's the post, and I'm gonna look for that comment. So this is the post that said wait. It's been viewed 264 times. Monetization moment. I should have commented on it. Oh, I see Lamb. Lamb, you only have like 102 views on that. Smack on there too in the top, in the top three. All right, here's that meme that somebody made that I thought was just funny. I'll post that in the jumbo as well. Can you see it? It's somebody says life has no meaning, and a monad post wait, and then all of a sudden, I think that's
Awesome.
funny. Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
It's giving them
So
purpose.
yes, yes. Mona says wait, and so we are like, all right. And then, of course, June 11th, yesterday, Keone Han. So that's one of the team, right? One of the founders. The Monad Foundation team has sent out initial invitations to participate in Testnet 2. With that said, I can't help but shake the feeling that we have missed some deeply technical solo validators that enjoy hacking on proof of stake networks. If you think this describes you, please send a brief email to tinkering at Monad Foundation with some links that to things you've built in the past, and we'll get back to you ASAP. Thanks. And
Wow.
yeah.
Testnet
And then
2.
somebody said, I just sent you an email. is it? Is this mostly for developers or regular use? No, it's for developers. Clearly, horses on the testnet. I love to see them as a true builders. Yeah, they're looking for builders. Well, I might cook. I might. I'm very much feeling Monad more and more each time. So you guys, let's go ahead and just with that milk, that Monad on Monad XYZ. You can get these airdrops or the sorry testnet tokens from Monad to test the net. They just came out saying, "Wait, I'm just thinking this is going to be us testing a little bit longer." So you have all the time in the world to crank it up, position that Monad wallet testnet uh, in your wallet to be eligible for potential airdrops, and you just got to do some transaction. You can mint NFTs, you can launch your own meme token, you can trade these meme tokens, you can stake, uh, you can launch an NFT collection, you can gamble, you can play games and interact with the D apps on Monad. How to do it? You go to Monad XYZ, click on ecosystem, and it will give you all the D apps that you can interact with your testnet tokens. Just try and make it fun. But do try and make as many interactions as possible. So sometimes I'm just doing 20 swaps, right? I'm just doing 20 low volume swaps. Hold on.
Please hold the line. What are you trading right now, Tick?
Yes. I'm sorry
Oh,
about
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I was on mute. My bad.
no problem.
we're going we're going the right direction
Yeah.
today, Tick. Both of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. It's a banger.
Sliding down like
All good. Will manage. But yeah,
we'll make
I'm actually on Monad right now. Shocker, right? Can you believe it? I'm checking my layer hub. I'm at 0.42% now. That's up.
oh
I'm
sick.
I was at zero point 0.8 like 3 days ago. So I've
Yes.
jumped significantly, and I'm
Yeah.
in the top 0.42%. So I'm in. Wow,
Awesome.
that's
You
so
want to
cool.
guess where I'm at?
You're the 0.09.
I'm at 0.06.
Oh, whoa,
Yes.
damn.
So yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm in it to win it, my guy. That's it.
Good.
And when
That's
I
awesome.
get triggered into my competition brain,
Yeah, yeah,
my brain is already set to gear towards that, and so I just need to be winning. So
you're
I need to
manifesting
be.
it.
I'm not happy unless I'm 0.01%.
Yeah, yeah,
That is going to be where I'm going to be at, and then in the leaderboard, I want to be within the 10,000 wallets. That's kind
yeah.
of where I want
And
to
and
end
also,
up.
and just like we were saying, and I'll say it again. You're manifesting, and you're not sitting around thinking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be queen of the monad, like, and not do anything about it. It's like you're putting in the footwork, but like, you believing in yourself, also being bullish on yourself, is making this actually happen. So it's awesome to
Always, you
see
always
that.
got to be
Yeah.
bullish on yourself. Have win mode on. Try and have fun with it. This should not be work. I mean, didn't we have a good time launching? I'm having a blast when I
Always.
launched that, and I was king of the hill. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, let's go. Right?
Yeah.
And you're making a tons of transactions in a short amount of time, having fun. And so it should be fun. So look at the D apps that you think is fun, and go ahead and do lots of it, right? Have lots of fun. It's testnet tokens, doesn't cost you nothing. You can, and I think you're also learning, right? Because when are you ever going to launch a meme coin token and pump fund something? No, here you can just do that without any consequence, right? Which is, and everybody's happy that there's a new ticker because they need to make as much transactions as well. So it's like keep this going,
Yeah.
and it's just a lot of fun. You're never going to do these things, so you're gonna yeah, just have fun with it, and also then learn how easy it is to do that, right? And that should also that gives you maybe some insights on the things that are launched in the new pairs. These things are nothing special, right? And no wonder most of them are rugs, right? It's like being on a test net.
Yeah.
So and also launching NFTs, right? How do you do that? How do you make NFTs? Maybe you're gonna learn much more than you were looking for, and it's gonna be bullish for you in the future or something like that, right? So yeah, just go ahead and do that. I really want to get into the builders Discord. I'm in there already, but I'm kind of triggered of what he said that they're participating in the testnet too. And yeah. So I have a few things that I might be doing in the space that I think is for me and bullish. Um, Things that have been on the ideas that have been on the plank a little bit have been ready to go
Mm-hmm.
mostly, but being on the back burner. But they're there, so I'm just waiting for puzzle pieces to fall, which they will always. So
And you know, another really awesome thing
mm,
about this that it kind of dawned on me the other day when I was like launching and trading and doing all this stuff and staking, and it dawned on me, I'm like, this is really good, like basically like habit building, or a way to learn about how to sell, how to stake, how to maximize your profits. Really, it's like by going through the motions of doing these and like learning how to stake your tokens and unstake them, and like how it's going to benefit you, and seeing that
yeah,
with the paper trading, essentially it's like it's the whole purpose of paper trading is so that you can like go through the motions and learn the outcome
yes.
and the results of it.
Also, because
But yeah.
you want to save some monad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
the thing that I'm doing is that every time I have some monad left over, and I did what I wanted to do was fun.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm like, yeah, I don't feel like doing it anymore. I'm just going to stake away the rest of that monad and stacking it, right? And so this is how you use staking for stacking. It's like that staking is your savings account. You're just putting a little bit in there every time,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it adds up, right? So
I've
then
been
at
doing
least
that
something
too.
that you,
I've been doing that too,
yeah,
and watching
yeah,
my, and so doing that on the test net, I was like, well, if I'm doing it on the test net, I might as well do it on Moonbags as well for 1000x, not to like give away the freaking alpha, but yeah, the I was like, yo, might as well. And so I feel like that's a good habit, and it shows people kind of like like how it can work,
yes,
and also watching your monad increase. Like, so I've gotten profit on what is it, test on nad. So on nad.fun, I'm actually like profitable on those two coins. My PNL on both of them, one of them is like one monad and the other one's like two monad. But I'm like, wow, that's freaking awesome.
sure, yeah. You get insights on how this works,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And so, especially with these meme tokens, what I did was like buy in, buy in, buy in. That made other people buy, and this is part of market making, by the way, right?
Mm,
So buy in, def buy, def buy, def buy. Then somebody else buys. They see that def is buying, so they are gonna hold. And then one bigger buy comes in, and I'm gonna sell everything. Then everybody goes panic sells on me. Then I'm gonna buy again, buy again, buy again, and that is how market making works in essence, right?
mm-hmm.
Um, Very much a shortcut there. There's a little bit more to it, but in essence, kind of what it is. You kind of want to grab the buys and control them. Uh, that's part of market making.
Mm,
This is kind of what a bot does too, right? Buys, buys, buys. Have everybody think this is going to be good, and then you set that RSI, and then when you topped out the RSI, but you do that as a market maker, the next buy then comes in, you're going to sell a lot on that buy, dragging that RSI to like 60% down, right? On the RSI, and then wait for more people to sell on you. And then when it hits that bottom of the RSI, you're going to have it curling back up again with your buys. And then do the same thing on repeat. And that's how, um, when projects have market makers like that on it, they actually will grab supply back into control again this way. Yeah. And
mm.
so sometimes people get a victim of that. They try and swing trade the market maker, and you're not going to win. The market maker won't let you. So you're not going to win that. So
Mm-hmm.
if you see, sometimes you see really good market making in the chart, and they really doing a good job at that. And then other people are trying to swing trade that, getting utterly wrecked. So when you see a good market maker, it just tells you that you should be buying in when the market maker starts buying in. and just copy trade them a little bit, and then you can make something out of it. You can scalp that then a little bit, but not by much. Best thing there, if you see good market makers that are pumping the chart because they will raise the floor. So all you need to do is buy some dips and hodl on them, right? And until they are triggering a breakout this way.
Mm.
So yeah.
I'm having the most. Oh, is this working now? Okay, I wasn't able to log into nad.fun. I was having difficulty with it because I wanted to see like how are my coins doing. So that's the one thing that about the layout that's not exactly great. I don't know what the user interface, the user experience isn't the greatest. View profile. There we go. So total PNL 3 monad. I'm up 111% on NAD fund.
Good
So
job. Good
it's not
job.
like, so I understand it's not like impressive. I didn't hit like a 100x or even a 10x. But you know, the fact is that like I've still so far I'm up, and you know, that's all that matters at the end of the day. All that matters, even if it's a little bit of profit, it's still, you know, that means that I'm moving in the right direction. So I like that. That's really cool. And plus, this is all monad, so it's not like real money or anything, but just getting in the habit of learning how this stuff works, especially with like the staking and stuff, I think is super helpful. Have you, while there, have you been able to see for yourself, like how like profitable you've been with the staking on Pandaria?
Yeah, it's very well,
So
yeah,
if you
so
go
go
on
and
there,
staked everything and just staked it away in a priori. At one point, you will have, I will just go to the faucet because I just, want to keep that habit alive.
uh huh.
But I don't need it anymore to make more transactions. So I'm just
Wow.
saving up, maybe just cashing, saving up, stacking on testnet tokens at this point.
Yeah.
And so I want to kind of keep them for a giveaway, right?
Mm.
And do a
Yeah.
giveaway with those. And
Yeah.
that's going to be transactions against two, because I'm sending them to their wallet. So I'm making a transaction. And it's just going to cost me more, right? Because I'm going to give away 5 or 10 monad at a time. And maybe I'm going to buy these 200 monad NFTs in the future. I don't know how much time we got, but their XP said just wait. So I guess we just get more time to do what we need to do, and that's okay because I got to be in the 0.01%, and that's gonna be five days out from now, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So if I keep just doing a little bit what I do every day, it's gonna be 5 days out. And of course, the longer your days are the days that you're doing this are counting towards that too, right? To positioning yourself for airdrop.
How do you
So
think?
I have to say potential airdrop because they never say that they do, right?
I wanted to ask, how do you think that you've made the most a priority monad through, like, do you think staking on a priori is how you've made the
No,
most? No. Okay.
no, it's actually staking a token of your own that you
Okay.
sometimes put some micro buys on the chart to get it back
Yeah.
into trending, right? You have to do it up till the point that it gets into trending. Then other people start to trade it, and then what you have staked in there will actually then deliver because the staking profits of that token is going to be directly related to how much the token is being traded. That's where your profits come from. Kind of works the same as staking on that Moonbag, right? When we stake that 1000x on Moonbag,
Yeah.
you get 40% of the fees that are being traded on
Mm-hmm.
that token, and this is kind of the same. And because
Huh.
it's so low cap, the APR is really high. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've been able to get some monad here and there from it, but like the staking thing, it's like I don't understand. I guess it's because there's no fees because there's not any transactions. So because it's like I've claimed on a lot of them, and then like a couple days have gone by, and then now there's nothing to
Yeah,
claim
well, you have
anymore.
to, when you want to do that with your own token, you have to put these micro buys on the chart to put it back in trending.
Oh yeah, huh?
That's why I say
Oh.
you have to do like a, maybe like 50 0.01
Yeah, yeah.
on there, costing you not so much monad.
Oh, it'll
You're
let you
actually
do point
you're
zero
buying.
0.01. Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I've been doing point 0.1 for all my buys. Oh, this
Yeah, well,
changes things.
then you're yeah, so then you're just out of the game a little bit. But if you do small buys, right,
Yeah.
micro buys is good for grabbing attention back. And then you buy also a little more of supply that you can then stake again. So are gonna people gonna buy and sell and buy and sell? Well, it's all volume. That's all good for your staking bag. But it's you got to put it under the attention again. So you got to bring some volume with micro buys. That's the strategy then to get these that you're staking, and then stake back that supply that you bought with your micro buys. Stake that on
Yeah.
top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then wait for other people to trade it again.
That's
That's
awesome.
basically.
Very
It's
nice.
basically what I did. It's just that for me right now, it's just like, oh, well, I'm good. And sometimes I'm just gonna go back to that ecosystem to see if I find somebody does something else that I can do on there. And next up is maybe I'm gonna launch an NFT project. But I also kind of want to do that Good Morning song I made, and you know, ju- sing that in myself, and maybe have that as a music NFT mint.
That'd be sick. Yeah.
Right? And I think it's good. I think it's gonna be a fun experiment because it actually can be content for your ex, but it's content that can rake in some money. So of course you're not gonna make that music NFT expensive. Maybe like a 0.0 um, 0.05 Solana or something like that, right? Cheap. So you go for volume there, right? Not for price as much. But it's something that you can post every day about too, right? So it's gonna give you content too. So I'm just trying to do these experiment. I'm gonna do these experiments then to see, right? Not per
Yeah.
se to cash in because you're gonna have to need a lot of people minting that to cash in, but not as a cash grab, but just as I think a fun experiment. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to make it. It's gonna be a lot of fun to code it, and it's gonna be a lot of fun to use for content. So I'm looking at to gain experience in these three areas, something I never did before. So I like that, right? I like that. It's for me, it's a challenge. I can learn something. So I think it's bullish. I think everybody should be trying to do that in Web3, trying to go make something, go code it, right? Yeah, MLP.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see you do that. You. I can see you doing that too, Tick,
Yeah, absolutely.
in the future too.
Yeah.
The coding is not. It's not that hard. It's not really rocket science. I'm not Einstein. I'm slightly over average IQ, but by no means am I Einstein. So, and it is actually, it looks harder than it is, just like most things. Also, the language they use is very different from what you used to, but just because it's different doesn't make it difficult. And sometimes we glitch with that a little bit, right? Because we don't know it. We immediately assume that it's difficult. But everything has its logic to it. It's a pattern of logic in it, and if as soon as you spot that, it's going to be second nature. It's just like learning a language. It initially is like, man, it's kind of tough. I thought that Chinese was like not going to make it for me, but I'm getting so much better at it too, and I can really hold down a conversation now. Today I had a conversation with somebody just when I went in the store, because every time I see a Chinese person now, I'm gonna hook up a conversation because I need to
Whoa.
practice my. And they're always flabbergasted when you start talking to them in Mandarin, and you just don't look Chinese at all or any Asian.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
super bizarre whenever I see a
They're
white
like, what's
person
up?
or
Yeah.
a non-Asian person speaking Chinese. It's always like, what?
Yeah,
How
yeah,
are you
yeah.
doing that? It's like wizardry.
Hayale, ni hao. Right? And they're like, what? And then they start talking back to you to see if you can understand them. And then you confirm all that. And they're just like, oh my God. They go crazy.
Yeah, it's like that
Before
movie
you know it.
Wayne's World. Remember Wayne's World when he meets his
No.
girlfriend's dad and he starts speaking to him in Cantonese? Maybe
Yeah,
that's.
that's Cantonese hard too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then these people are just like, yeah, I think that's a lot of fun, right? And I never thought I could. And you got to, every time that you have an idea, the assumption that you cannot do something, you need to be doing it because you need
Mm.
to prove a point. You need to prove yourself a point sometimes. Got to be like, all right, I just find experience that as something that I'm reluctant to do because I think it's hard. I think I'm not going to make it.com. I think I don't have what it takes. I don't think. And these are all things that you do not want in your mindset. So in order to get rid of those, you got to challenge yourself on that and be like, all right, so what's the evidence for me to not being able to do this? What evidence do I have? I have
Right.
nothing because I never tried it, right? I have nothing. I have all I have is an assumption. And why do I have that assumption? All right, well, because it's a language I don't know and I feel intimidated. All right, cool. You now we gotta, bring in some evidence on the contrary. So we're just gonna have to try and do it. And then you find out it's actually not that hard at all. It's just like I say, there's to speech there's a pattern, to coding there's a pattern, and it is inherently human, and you are human too, and therefore you have the ability to do it. So you need to come from a different premise. So not the premise like, all right, this is strange to me, so I can't do it, right? But
Yeah.
without evidence, well, the evidence that is in your favor is that other humans do it. Other humans do it. So therefore you can do it.
Mm.
And that,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know
Believe
a
in
lot of
yourself.
people are going right now like, oh, this is not true because sometimes we're different. Yes, but that's based on your beliefs. Your beliefs are different. That's all it is. You believe different things around that than I do. So my initial belief, the core belief is always, if another human can do it, I can do it too.
Mm-hmm.
And this
Yeah.
this goes
Yeah.
for everything, also the good things, but also the negative things. If other people can kill other humans, I can too, because I'm a human. I draw from the same essence.
Yeah.
And then you got to rethink under what circumstances would I? Well, I can name you circumstances that I definitely would. Right?
Yeah.
And you're not shying away from that either. But to learn things, same thing. Other humans made it. Other humans are doing it, and so I can do it too. Now, do I like doing it? Is that how I want to spend my time? That's a different question. That's about belief, right?
Mm-hmm.
But your ability, another human can do it. So your ability to do it is right there too. Sometimes it's just you have a belief about yourself that you are not worthy, or that you're waiting for permission, or that you have some kind of shame around something, or some incredible negative emotion, or some lacky self-esteem, or a different perception on things. But it's just perception, and you need to change that belief. You need to switch that perception. And
Yeah.
sometimes you just gotta cut out your own bullshit with that. What's going on in your brain? Just say, okay, well, let me go ahead and give it a try, right?
I will say it's crazy how sometimes it may be something that one thinks that they might not be capable of. You watch a YouTube video as someone doing it, and you're like, "Oh, what? That's easy." You're like,
Oh,
"What?"
well,
And
it's
like,
all in your head.
and
Yeah,
then all of a
because it's all in your
sudden,
head.
watching someone else go, and it's like you watching them do it and making it look easy. Something that could be perplexing, all of a sudden it's just simplified because all the
Yeah.
noise and all this stuff is now like
Yeah, well,
filtered
what's the
out, and
noise?
yeah, yeah.
What's the noise? That's you. You're
Right.
your own, like,
Confusion, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Overcomplicating
You,
things.
yeah, you
That's
are
me
your own
definitely.
bullshitter, right? So, you have that. You have most of the conversations that you have in life are completely in your head and made up. You
Yeah.
have the most
Right.
conversations with yourself in your head all the time.
Yeah.
Right. So and we are also the most critical of ourselves most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
We can actually have a voice, inner voice. If that's you, by the way, you need to fix. I need to be working on that a little bit, because it's not okay to be talking to yourself in a very derogatory way, a way that
Negative.
you would
Yeah.
never talk to your friend, let alone a stranger. But you're talking to yourself that way, right? Tearing
Mm-hmm.
yourself down. Yeah, yeah. You need to watch that, because that is actually very unhealthy, and that
Right.
it can, yeah, that's right. A lot of people, and I recognize this because I have it too, right? And sometimes you can do it in a funny, you can say something funny to yourself, like, ah, you gotta get out of bed, bitch, right? You gotta do this, right? But that's something that I would say to my friend too, by the way. But uh, if you're talking to yourself in a manner of like, look, you can never do this, and why do you think you are able to um, even start something like this, or why do you think you deserve that amount of money and you're never going to make it, and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how you would talk to a friend, and absolutely not how you would talk to another human being um, that you meet. You never would. But you're talking to yourself like that because you feel comfortable doing that. So comfort zone is no good. That's where that voice is, and if that voice is there, you really have to change that up, and just recognize when you do it, and then just start toning that down, because that voice doesn't not have any evidence. It's just assuming based on beliefs that were somehow fed to you, or that you took out of something, but you are mostly wrong, and that voice is mostly wrong too. Like I said, the evidence is all right. I cannot do anything. So I think I cannot do anything, but I never did it before. So this voice is bullshit, right? It's already speaking bullshit. Now, what are facts? Okay, another human does it. Oh, cool. That would indicate by and far that I can have the at least the ability to do it too. Now it's something else if that thing does not bring me any joy, I might not choose to do it. But it's not because I think I'm not capable. And that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're far, far more capable than you ever realize, right? Ever. So, and just like you said, sometimes you just need to shut that up and fuck around and find out if you need to prove yourself wrong. If you have that voice, prove that voice wrong by action, taking an action in a different direction. All right, that voice telling me I can't. Let us test that voice. Let us see if that is actually true or bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time it's bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's bullshit, and it wants to do that. It's not because you want to punish yourself. It all designed to make you feel comfortable, to keep you where you are at, because where you are at brings security, and the thing that we want most in life are these securities. We want to have enough money every month so we can buy food and have the house and be healthy and happy, right? And so this voice is not actually there to hurt you. It's to keep you where you are, because where you are is what you know and feel comfortable in. See how this works? So it's not to hurt you, but it is also not making you progress in any other direction than that.
Mm.
So it's kind of keeping you hostage. For well, your future self, your better self, would be held hostage. Your former self is pretty comfortable there. That's why the voice is there, right?
Mm.
Yeah. So if you're always comfortable with eating that food or something else and money, and you're going to be challenged in that area, that voice is going to come up and prevent you from um, moving out of that comfort zone,
Mm. Yeah.
because it likes you just to repeat what you did yesterday. Because we know this, it brings security.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can relax and we feel comfortable. We can relax and relax some more. But at one point, you'll be too relaxed, right? And you're missing out on life. And so there's definitely the comfort zone has a purpose, definitely. It's to rest and recuperate and maybe come back to yourself to see what you made of your adventure, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you got to go out again and go on an adventure. Stay there because that's where adventures that do not happen there. Challenges do not happen there. Gains do not happen there. Nothing happens there, and that's why we love it there. So,
Right.
yeah. But yeah, start loving being uncomfortable. As soon as you get that down, oh my God, the world will change. So hard for you to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, to
Mm-hmm.
even look for that yourself. And be like, all right, I spent 2 days here just, lounging around, being all comfy, literally comfy, right? But I'm doing a lot of stuff that is I'm not doing. So, all right, let me look at something hard to do that I need to challenge myself on and go on an adventure with that. So I'm gonna go on an adventure with making a music NFT. That's gonna be on the menu.
Hmm.
I never did that before. I don't even sing, but I'm gonna sing a song.
Um,
I'm gonna rock you.
I'm wondering. So when you're on Pandaria, you don't use. Oh no, you don't really use Uniswap at all, do you?
No, no. Well,
Dude,
you can
I
use
hate it.
Uniswap.
I hate it so much. Uniswap
Yeah, yeah. I
sucks.
hate it with a passion.
It's
I think
so.
I still have an old Uni wallet, right? Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But yeah, it's because I'm having trouble. So the Pandaria is so annoying with Chrome. It's like it's super selective about what it wants to work with, and the way that my wallets are configured as well. It's just like I have a weird
I actually
configuration.
think Pandaria is faster in these swaps than that Net Fun is. That Net Fun was giving me. Once you get into the roll of it, it actually works fast. But
Yeah,
before you do, it's kind of like, okay, choose the wrong network. Okay, log in, log out. All
yeah,
right, choose
yeah.
log in.
So
Yeah,
and
and before, yeah,
I got
think
another
back.
question too with NadFun. You can't stake on there, can you?
No,
Ugh.
no, no. That's trading, but it has these other perks, right? So it does
Yeah, they
make
have
you
the
think.
rewards thing.
Well, I got a shit ton more volume on there than I did on Pandaria. So or Pandaria, whatever.
Oh wow.
Panda.
Okay. Okay. So that's some
So that's
alpha.
that's like the trade off there a little bit, right? Trade off.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I might,
this.
I might, I might launch a shit token tomorrow on Net Fun again, just because I think it's fun. And I
Yeah.
need the transactions. You need to be doing that. So
Yeah. That's. I mean, I've just been doing transactions since we've been talking, and shoot, I'm probably up from point 0.4 whatever I was at to. I wonder where I'm at now. I was.
yeah,
But yeah, it's like that fast though. As last time I did this, and then I checked my wallet a
I
little
just
bit.
need to. I just need to. I just feel that Lab is taking a sprint here and there. I just need to stick with it.
I'm at point 0.3. I'm up to point 0.3 now. Just from doing the stuff that we were talking about. I went from 0.42 or whatever it is to point
That's
0.3.
good.
So, wow. So anyone that might think, oh, it's like a little too late to join in on this, like we still have some time left. I think. Ooh, actually, I don't know how much longer. I
Oh
can't believe it's
well,
already June.
you just
Damn.
gotta do a little sprint with these transactions, and maybe you gotta
Yeah.
spend an hour with it instead of 15 minutes or 10 minutes,
Oh yeah,
right?
we've
But
just
if you
been
think,
doing. I've
if
been
you
doing
think,
10 minutes a day, like
yeah.
nothing.
So if you liking it and you're having fun, then an hour is, but yeah, that I don't know. Everybody's time is different. So if I'm having fun, I'm willing to spend an hour. But I usually spend my time multitasking anyway, so I'll just incorporate it in doing something else, either being on a treadmill or in between the rest periods of a workout or something. I'll just go ahead and do things in there, right?
Hmm.
But yeah, I think it's fun too. So for me, it's not a biggie. But if you're sitting there and you're like, yeah, I gotta make so many transactions in there, and you find that daunting, and maybe it's not for you. But you do have time if you think, yeah, it's kind of fun. Let's do it, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like I said, of course, this competition thing is being heavily triggered here too. So I just, airdrop or not, I need to see that number. I need to be a
Um,
serious 0%.
that one tip that you told me about pumping my own charts, though, that's like such alpha because yeah, I can claim my rewards. I just did it on TSC, the Trump Solana Club token I
Yeah.
made the other day. And so then I'll go back on to buy 0.01. So this is so awesome that you showed this to me, because to anyone else this might be obvious, but I didn't even realize that I could do 0.01
No, for
on
most
the.
people they don't. But look, there's probably even a buy bot that you can put on there because it's EVM compatible.
Yeah.
So a buy bot, maybe in the coding you need to set it to testnet, but the thing is that these going to be expensive in use, so it might be, and you want to not have that bot made to transact. You want to do it with your wallet for it to count to your transaction. So, but when a project launches, usually this is what they do. They have a bot doing these micro buys, right, in sequence, and so to get what trending, right, called these trending bots, and all they do is like have the perception of volume, but not in money, in transaction volume.
Mm.
So that's what they designed to do. And they're not free, they cost money to run, right? So you have the cherry trending bot, you have the radar trending bot, you have the, for Solana you have some trading bots that will some are better than others, but sometimes it's up to 300 a day to use these bots too. But it is cheaper than paying for Dex Tools trending, which will cost you $800 a day. Now on Sui, that's a little cheaper. On the other chains, it might be a little cheaper, but for ETH is expensive to do that with, to actually Dex Tools trending. So you can get stuff to trend using like a bot. So what you're doing with this Pandaria, you're just gonna have to do that manually. Do these buys on the chart. That will actually get you back into the trending list, which the trending list is the default list that website shows everybody. And so you can catch some ice and therefore catch some volume. So that is how you do it. So you also learn about that when you're launching your own, how to manage your own little ticker there. All right, let's get this trending again. So yeah, I don't know if you have anything else to share, Tech, because it kind of went down some rabbit holes.
Yeah.
This
Well, I did something with my Uniswap wallet on the Monad network when I just
yeah,
did claim staking rewards.
right.
And it, like, I don't know how, but it cost me like 0.01 Ethereum. I don't know,
Oh,
because I tried to do 0.01 Monad, and when I
yeah.
pressed buy and then it started the transaction, dude, this is super annoying. But it like looks like it freaking accidentally took like.
Maybe it was Uniswap is trying to make you pay Ethereum fees on that.
That's the, oh my god, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
dude.
Motherfuckers over there trying to make a buck.
Oh my gosh, I think that you're right, because it asked me if I wanted to enable smart wallet, and I was like, okay, I didn't
Yeah,
look into
yeah,
what,
yeah. There you
and so
go.
it probably just
And then
charged me.
yeah, yeah,
Holy,
charging you
I'm
for that.
so pissed right now.
You'll be like, yeah, let me get this extra, and then the bill comes.
Dude, what? And there's no indication anywhere on the wallet that that's been enabled. It's just that, I just see that I have fucking $10 worth of Ethereum that just is gone, which I was kind of like, well, how did that just happen? You know what I mean? And yeah,
Yeah,
it's super weird. Oh my
definitely.
gosh. And so now I'm on the, anyway, I'm going to have to figure this out in my spare time, figure out what
It's
the.
got scammed out of some Ethereum, scammed out of your Monad by Uniswap.
Yeah, I'm looking on the Uniswap,
How am I not surprised by Uniswap?
yeah,
It's kind of known for being expensive.
edit profile connections.
Uniswap is like another dinosaur from last bull run era.
I'm just so pissed right now that.
Even though they are, I think they're coming out with a V4,
Mm-hmm.
but then they all are, stay relevant. But yeah, I think Uniswap is a bit of a dino.
Well, I'm now. It's just another freaking learning lesson. Oh my gosh! And so now I'm gonna have to convert so I'm gonna have to swap some tokens onto Ethereum and then replenish this. I don't think I have any Ethereum on my in any of my wallets right now, so I'm gonna have to replenish that. That's stupid. I'm just gonna swap some of my maybe some of that Sei that I just bought. But even because
What do you need? How much ether you need?
I'm gonna just swap $10. It's all good. Here, I'm gonna do. Let me see.
Why do you want to sweat? Are you short $10 on that
Oh,
Ethereum?
you're saying just buy it, right? Well, because I was thinking of taking the. Yeah, I could buy it with cash, but or
No.
fiat.
Well, how much Ethereum do you need to be up to your Ethereum
Point 0.
0.0?
It's gonna be 0.01. So if I here, I'll go on
Well,
Coinbase.
I'll send it to you. So give me your. You're not gonna sell a
Don't
position
be
for like
silly. Don't be silly. That's wild. Here,
No,
I'm
it's
just gonna buy
fine. It's fine. It's fine. Give me
point
your. Give me
point
your.
zero one. No, I got it right here. 20. It's $30. I got it right here. I'm gonna just buy it on Coinbase and I'll send it to myself. It's all good. Don't even trip. I was just kind of like, I just clicked. That's what I get for clicking something without thinking about it. Anyone that's like listening, it's like, yeah, like please learn from my mistakes because, you know, it's I shouldn't have clicked on what that Uniswap, and I don't like using Uniswap anyway, so I should have known better. It was just me being. Sometimes laziness can cost you, and that's a great example of it right there. So, because I was
Yeah, well,
too lazy to
sometimes,
configure my
don't be
wallet.
too hard on yourself with that either, because sometimes it just indicates that you're doing a little bit too much, and you're tiring out, right, with it.
Yeah,
And so that's why I never trade when I'm tired.
I know. Oh my gosh, I've done some stupid
I'd rather
stuff.
get
Yeah,
up earlier and be fresh with it, with what I'm looking at,
yeah,
because I'm never successful at the end of the day. I just start to see things that are not there. I'm trying to force things, and then it just breaks down, right? From there. So, I just always want to be fresh, making trades and doing stuff. Even, when we're into space and minting, sometimes I just postpone that to the next day because uh, yeah, then I look at it with fresh eyes, and it's time is your friend, right? So make sure when you do trades, and when you are, I never touch my ledger if I'm tired, or I'm just afraid, especially with big amounts, that I'm gonna make a mistake. So I
yeah,
just want to be fresh and eliminate risk there, because sometimes you do that with like 10K or something like that, and you sit there butt clenched,
yeah,
especially with transactions on Ethereum.
yeah. Where they take 15 minutes, or a couple
Yeah,
minutes.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, from your ledger it goes a little faster, but yeah, it's definitely too long. Especially if that amounts are high, you're just sitting there like, is it going? You're
that's
watching on
nerve
the
wracking. Yeah,
scanner, right? You're sitting on the scanner waiting for these validated. Nah, it's yeah,
yeah.
it's horrible for that.
I used. Mhm.
Once you get used to Sui and stuff like that, Sui has these instant transactions, and once you're used
Yeah.
to doing that, even you notice the difference with Solana. When I'm on Rate and X buying, it's boom, insta boom buy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to bribe anything to do the insta buy on Solana. To be that fast, I need to pay a lot more on the transaction to front run, right, to bribe the to put in a bribe, I need to pay more. And that's what it's kind of like working against you if you do not have enough Solana, especially when you're dealing with big amounts trading for the selling, because everybody that has more money in their wallet can actually pay the bribe hefty and front run your sell. Because if you both click at the same time, but that one is bribing, right? And 10 people are not bribing but clicking the button at the same time, that one will go first. And guess who has the one who has the most Solana? Probably also the bigger bags. So by the time that you are in that row getting there, uh, depending on your slippage, you might lose a lot on that trade to begin with, right? On that
Yeah.
sell to begin with. Yeah, yeah. And sometimes you need to bribe your limit orders on Solana as well, or else it won't even catch your limit order. Everybody in that limit order, if there's, let's say there's 10K in that limit order,
Mm-hmm.
but the buys are only 8K, so there's a wick in there. Bet you it won't catch yours if you didn't bribe it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Huh. So yeah, the bribing kind of you get it does help.
Yeah, or you need to watch the order book and trade by order book, but that is something else altogether, right?
Super. Oh, okay.
So
I'm.
that's why a lot of people just use that bribe then. And but the thing is that the big guns bribe the hardest, but they have bags of thousands. What you saw that with the Trump token, people getting wrecked with little bags in there. Because
Yeah,
if
I
you
was.
have 10
I was.
if you
Uh huh.
have 10K, if you have 10K profit, you can put a bribe of $150 in there and be no problem. But if you're in there with $150, who's going to bribe $150 to front run cells?
Yeah.
So it's kind of set up that way to work a little bit against you. Yeah. Same with sniping, right? If you snipe, I did it sometimes. Last year I did that a lot of sniping on Ethereum.
Uh huh.
And basically what you need to do there is, if you want to get in early and front run everybody, if you're buying with $100 bag, let's say, your bribe would be $100 too. Sometimes I would even bribe $200 with only buying $100 bag,
What?
just to snipe harder. Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, so that your order goes through before everyone else.
Yep. Yep.
Holy hell! And it's worth it because if you're hitting a
Yep.
10x, you've already
Yeah.
paid
Or
for your
40x.
and
Yeah.
yeah your initial investment
But
plus the
you
bribe.
never know. So here's
Right.
the thing:
It's a
people think
gamble.
like, oh, I'm gonna do that with $50 and then start sniping,
Uh
and
huh.
don't set a bribe or something. You're gonna get wrecked because you're gonna be everybody bribes. You can guarantee that. So you need to put in heavy bribes in. Sometimes if there's a lot of attention for a because you can look it up um, on the blockchain, how much snipers are on it, right? And that have filled in that CA, so you can actually scan that. And then when there are more like 30 snipers, you need to set your bribe up 3 times. So 3 times the value of your bag. So that means if you're going to buy $100, you're going to bribe $300 to front run these 30 people. That's basically the ratio.
Jeez.
And it can
Yeah.
be badly because there's a lot of attention, there's a lot of volume, so it can be potentially be very much worth it. But it is, if you're not used to that, or you're not sniping, or you're just coming around for the first 20 goes with this, right? um, you get them wrecked because you simply don't know, or you think you're gonna bribe like a $50 and $100 bag. Yeah, that's not gonna fly. Other people are bribing so much more, so it's much more than you think. You need much more than you think when you're doing these strategies. And at one point, it's very stressful too. And sometimes you would immediately set a limit order to it. That's where you see that initial volatility when a launch happens and there's snipers on there. You kind of got to wait till these snipers sell, because they have orders in there. So here's the thing: I snipe, I sell at 2x, I sell at 10x, and I sell at 20x. That is basically kind of like a division that works for me always, right? Also, a little bit,
Two,
if there's
10,
more
20.
attention, I might set that different targets there for. But that's how I set the orders for that sniper then to sell off, right? That's going to be the selling, and so you got to wait for these snipers to be out because they have their orders in already.
Yeah.
This price gets there, they have big bags. The sniper has big bags. It buys within the first, hopefully the first 10 or 20K of a launch, if it's a 1K launch. So with $100 you can actually buy like 10% of supply. And
Wow.
that's why those big red
Wow.
candles come in that initial volatility, up, 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 and then you see when it hits like the 2x, when it hits like the 10x, you see boom, 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 you see these cells. So if you're in a launch and you're just doing it manually, you're gonna be the exit liquidity for the initial snipers.
Yeah. So sometimes what's the strategy then there is to kind of wait till the
Wait
shakeout.
snipers out. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Wait for the snipers to get out. And sometimes That might take even a little bit of time, because there are some snipers who, if you get 10% of supply, you're going to sell this much here, this much, but sometimes they leave like a 2% bag in there, and that can be quite a lot if you're going to pump to 1 million. And that's going to be sell pressure. So you kind of want to shake them out over time, have the chart, and then eventually they come back to their sniper and be like, "Oh, this is dead. I'm gonna sell right here." Boom, and then um, the team sees that happen, and then they can pop the chart back up. Sometimes it needs to be shaken out like that a little bit. Yeah, and that's, oh, you do that with time, because the sniper is not a hodler. So it expects something to move within 24 hours, 48 hours, and then they come back. So you usually shake them out with some time. But again, a lot of people who not know this stuff are thinking, why no pumpy? Well, sometimes they do that on purpose to shake some stuff out, because you don't know these holders, and they're big holders, and you don't know them, right? And you know they're snipers, so they are going to sell at some point that 2% supply. Now, if they do that at 1 million, that 2% supply, that is going to be significant price impact there, and scare everybody, right? But also, again, scammy, this is crypto scammy plays. Some developers have set up, because they have the CA early, right? The dev is the first one to have the contract. So it can set up its own snipers. It can put 10 snipers on there, sniping 10 different wallets. And you won't ever link these wallets to the developer at all. But some might use that again to just have supply control, to be like, all right, I know it's going to get sniped by strangers. Let me go ahead and front run all of that shit.
Yeah, exactly, right?
And then, that bundling is now a new thing, or not so new, but a recent thing.
Oh, the bundling?
Yes, because
Yeah.
here's the thing. Well, bundling supply can be bearish or bullish. When a team holds so much tokens, they can dunk it on you, but they can also use it as a strategy against the fucking people who eat out the chart. If they control the supply, that sell pressure won't be. They take away sell pressure with that. Right? It's like they hodl that supply. They're not, but it's kind of, you must see it like it's staked, so it's not usable. They are
Right.
hodling it. Yeah, so they're holding a floor of the token. But then again, they can also dunk it on you at some point. That also happens. So.
Yeah.
But if a team doesn't control supply, then the chart is, no, it's kind of like you see on 1000X ticker. It's a community. You can clearly see this is community movement. And that's why it takes a longer time for it to pump, because you're going to have these people in there that take 20%, that take 30%, and a low cap.
Right.
That is easily made, right? 20, 30%, right? Somebody buys two, three big buys, and boom, the other one is already halfway in profit. Yeah. So these
Dude,
things, and
I love that
well,
ticker.
that takes a longer amount. It also indicates that the team does not have 90% of supply here, or else they would have held a 50K floor.
Does
So,
your 1000X chart look insanely riddled with bees or no?
yes.
It is okay. Mine is
Yeah,
like
well, that's what you then try to do. If you did not snipe that with initial supply, you're just gonna, every time somebody sells, you're just gonna DCA bottom back, and then
Yeah.
control, and eventually that floor will rise. It just
Yeah.
takes a little bit more time.
Every
So
time I see a
so
dip, I buy. It's like, it's
yeah.
ridiculous.
Also, when you bundle it up, you do not give people access below a certain market cap, because that's, these low caps, nano caps are
Uh huh.
perfect for these bottom feeders to
Draining the
put in
liquidity out.
$20 and turn that into $40, right?
Yeah.
And there's going to be a bunch of them, because it's very easy. We just have to go from 10K to 20K,
Right.
and I split the whole bag, and that's what these. All right, that bundling, when something is bundled, it immediately goes from 1K to, let's say, 100K, and nobody but the team bought in under 100K, so they can hold a 100K floor. And that just means that these bottom feeders now have to go from 100K market cap to 200K market cap in order to do the same.
Mm-hmm.
And some teams will do the tokenomics, like it would launch at a 1 million market cap even. So nobody gets to be in before 1 million.
Right.
So that's how you. That's what is called like bundling. That's supply control. That's control. You
But
are
that's
not
like
making.
that's a
Nobody can
positive
get in.
way of bundling it, though, right? I mean, that's like a good thing because then there's stability. There's a floor
Yeah,
that
but the
can't be.
bad thing is that the team does hold most of that
Oh,
supply.
so if they dump on you, then
So,
you're
so
screwed.
it also just takes that one person. If team is just one person, let's say, or
Yeah.
two or three, right? One just have to. This is how money changes people. So
Yeah.
initially there might be an agreement. Hey, you guys, we're gonna huddle this, right? Initially there might be that agreement, but then
Exactly.
one of them will see 80K, 90K, 100K,
Yeah.
150K in their wallet, and they will be like, yeah, fuck you guys. This is life changing money. Fuck
Yeah.
everybody.
It's
I'm
like
out.
Canterbury Tales when three men find a pot of gold and end up
Yeah,
killing one another in the
exactly.
name of greed.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. All of a
So,
sudden, brotherhood, friendship is
yeah.
out the window.
Have you,
People, money changes people.
dude, have you ever played the video game Rust or Hearts in the crowd? If any of you guys have ever played Rust, it's an online survival game. That's a first person game where you like spawn on an island and you have to build everything. We start with like a rock and a torch, and you build weapons and build a
It sounds like
fortress.
something that I would play, but I never played it.
It's gnarly. It's really intense, and you have to invest like hundreds of hours to like building like your weapons and your base and all that stuff. And so the point in Rust, it's like trust no one. This is Rust is kind of like the saying, and there's videos of people like screwing each other over because it takes hours and hours of time invested to grind in order to like accumulate any stuff in the game. And so I had a crew. It was me and two other guys, and we kind of like, okay, let's band together because, like, in a place where you can't trust anyone, we need to like band together so we can survive in here. And it works. And there are clans that form and stuff like that. But there was one time where I took a week vacation to Hawaii, and I didn't have my desktop PC game, to game while I was gone in Hawaii. I came back from Hawaii a week later, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, the other guy, whatever his name was, he totally freaking screwed us over, man. He killed me and like took the keys to the base and like took all the weapons and
Yeah, there you
and I
go.
was like, I was just kind of like, yeah, like business as usual. That doesn't surprise me at all. It sucked, but like at the same time, the whole
But
premise is
again,
yeah,
right? When we talking about this judgment of other people, right?
yeah.
Sure, sure, sure. We just have to realize that everyone has this price here too. Yeah.
Yeah, damn.
So it might be a price when you are inclined to do the same thing.
Right.
It's just that for the people in world countries, and depending on your hopes and dreams,
The bar is
right?
low.
You are there for millions, and other people think $40 is a lot of money and do it, right?
Yep.
And it's like fuck
Damn.
everybody, fucking all, I'm staking.
Bro, it's like this. His come up was so weak too. I'm thinking to myself, like, bro, we barely had anything. You got a couple like AKs and like a rocket launcher and like a stupid little base, but it's like
Yeah, well, yeah.
we were able to rebuild that and then some without him, and then we just knew from probably bringing in the third person may have not been you hear about bad seeds all the time in projects. Quakey was talking to us about it the other day. So for some people the bar is a lot lower in terms of like you said, we all got our price, and it's like for some people it's like $40 and their loyalty is shifted. It's like,
Out
what
the
the
window.
hell?
Yeah.
Well, I was glad we shook him out when we did. Is kind of the realization after the fact. It's like, well, better off without somebody like. I'm glad it didn't happen further down the line when we had more to lose.
So what happens is these people that are bought easy like that and have their compass set to that a little bit more and don't recognize it in themselves, right? That their response is like that. That's the worst thing about it. They think it's normal and a strategy, but it's actually not a good long-term strategy because
True.
guess what? You can only do this once. When that money is gone, these friends that you had, they will never let you back in. So you
It's
cannot
like,
do the same thing with. So you have to find other people
yeah, it's like
to
back
do
in
that
high
with.
school, I used to sell weed to to people when I was like, that's what you do when you're 14 in California. And I had friends that used to like rip people off and take their money and like, not give them their weed or whatever. And it's like, I had that realize. I'm like, you can only do that to a person one time. I'm like, I'd much rather have a customer that's always coming back to me. And I'm not promoting weed sales and stuff. I'm just
No, but we
but
get what
you
you're trying
get the
to say. It
gist. Yeah.
goes. Yeah.
You get the gist.
Yeah. No,
So,
absolutely. So for long term success, we can all win, right? But
yeah.
yeah, you need a certain people in a certain combination to get there. And it's you got to also protect other people. So um, that's why in projects in crypto you want a good division of wallets.
Mm,
You do not want to have somebody hold too much. If I buy so low cap, I'm always making sure I never buy a lot of supply.
right, because if it does moon and one person's staring at like a few hundred grand sitting there and they're being trusted with it or whatever,
Well,
it's
sometimes there isn't even enough liquidity for
right.
you to sell all these tokens, and you're going to try and do that, and you're going to wreck a project, and you know that, but you're not going to care because
That's what
that's your
happened to
project.
Quakey. Yeah, that's what he was saying
Yeah.
happened to Quakey. The guy had dumped on them and took all the liquidity.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the numbers were, but it was staggering the market cap that it went from. I don't know if it was 10 mil down to something. It was something crazy though. Maybe it
Yeah.
was only 3 mil, but still, it was something staggering.
Yeah,
What?
I got in a I got very early into a project, and they were actually my DMs like scolding me that I was selling. I wasn't even selling,
You told me
but I
about
was a
this.
big
They were
holder.
falsely
Yeah.
accusing you of selling, and you're like, dude,
Oh
what kind
yeah.
of like what
Yeah.
kind of community
I
or
was like, what
team
the fuck
is
is
this where
this?
you're
Yeah.
going and like you're like, even if I was taking profit, I don't know if this was your train of thought, but like to me, I'd be like, this is a
No,
part
I left
of
that bag,
the
man. I left that bag to cook.
yeah.
I saw 80, 90K in that bag. I'm not joking.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
was like, let this
You could
cook,
have
right?
bought a Porsche.
And let it cook a little more. And I didn't sell. I held a lot of supply. And so they knew that, but they kind of mistaken my wallet with somebody else's.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And they actually got into my DMs being very sure about their findings, which they were not. They were wrong.
You're like, hold up.
And they were now coming at me hardcore, I mean massive abusive language to me, and I was like,
Ooh.
well, you're wrong, this is not my wallet. What makes you
Dude.
think that this is my wallet? It's not my wallet. Yes, and you made money out of our hard work. And I was like, well, you are making now such a big mistake because I'm a big holder and you're coming at me being abusive.
Yeah.
I just have to put this, I'm just putting that order in, press the sell button, and I wreck your chart right here and now.
Yeah. Jeez. That's heavy.
And you thought I already wrecked it, but no, you're making now a very dangerous mistake.
Now it's like now you're asking for it. Yeah. You're like, wow,
Yeah,
the
now you're
idea hadn't
asking.
even crossed my mind, but now that you mention it,
Yes, now
I
that
could
you're
use a
coming
new
at me like
car.
this, right? I'm not feeling good about holding this crap now anymore. And I
Yeah.
held the floor for you,
Yeah.
right? So, you know, how about a thank you instead?
Damn.
But yeah, that happens, right? So I never want to be a big holder like that of a project anymore because your wallet is being fucking watched like a hawk 24/7
Yeah.
about your moves.
Yeah. If you have
And
100 grand, you don't carry it around in a clear Ziploc bag for people to see what you're carrying around. That's a quick
yeah,
way to lose it.
well, yeah, I don't mind, for my wallet to be doxxed because I don't give a shit anymore.
Uh
But
huh.
it is not nice that people are looking at your wallet all the time. And oh, maybe that wallet is selling. Yeah, I haven't sold for months. It makes you think
Yeah.
I'm gonna sell right now. But
Well,
it
it
kind of
breeds
gives me then the
PvP.
feeling when you read that and you are that big holder and other people are talking about your wallet, it kind of gives you like, hey, fuck off. I'm just gonna sell all and get out of here, right?
Right.
I need to read this all the time about how you're watching my wallet and how you're afraid I'm gonna sell. And people don't know that these big wallets are looking into these conversations in the TG, right? I'm seeing what you're writing. It's about me. It's about my wallet. I know. You're
But there,
mentioning my wallet. I see
and
it.
there's a big difference though, right? Between taking profit, like taking 25% profit at certain market caps and then just dumping 99% of your bag or whatever, right? There's like a huge difference. Like people wouldn't knock you for taking profit, right?
Well, sometimes they will.
Because
Try
it's fucking the
this
liquidity
is
up
gonna
and the
be a,
price
this is
impact,
gonna
huh?
be a shit ton of fun. If you're a big holder like that, this is gonna be fun. Move some of these tokens around. Boom! Immediately in the TG. They all move tokens. What are they gonna do?
Oh shit.
Right? And you sit there like, oh, nothing. I just moved it. just
Whoa.
But there's
Yeah.
people watching. There's people always watching these wallets. There's always a
Yeah.
certain amount of people watching these wallets.
You
It's
see
like you
that on
got
the
nothing better to
macro
do.
all the
Yeah.
time. On the macro, you always see like Solana transfers 300 million to Kraken or whatever, you know, and kind of good to see. Oh, what
Yeah,
moves are they
yeah,
going to make?
exactly,
What's
exactly.
cooking? What's the alpha here?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's how it works. That's how we are with this.
And usually it's
So
nothing.
never again. Never gonna do that again. I just rather do in my alts. Nobody's watching me there, right?
Yeah, right.
But if it's low cap like that, it's gonna be watched all the time. It's not a lot of fun, and it's yeah. I don't want
Yeah,
to be
that
in that.
it's very
I don't have fun
PvP.
with it anymore, right? It should be fun.
Yeah, it's very
These things should
PvP.
be fun.
Yo, what is? I just found something on Pandaria. Have you seen the trenches on Pandaria? What?
Oh,
There's I don't know if this is new. I just noticed there's a bottom part of the window, and so there's watch list, tokens, trenches, swap, and account. This I don't know if this is a new thing to the UI that they added. But there's trenches, which
what does
is
it do?
oh my gosh, I love this. Just to chill, la boo boo. It's basically a bull X. It's a bull X for LFJ, basically. I think by looking at it. I mean, it doesn't have the same interface as bull X, but it looks like it's associated with Pump Fund somehow. So, oh, maybe you can launch on Pump Fund Monad tokens now. That has to be it. And let me go on Pump.fun, the last place I ever want to freaking go. Going on Pump Fund now feels like logging into 4chan in 2008. Doesn't it? I think it's the same people. Pretty sure.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Same
for
memes.
sure. I remember that token 4chan coming out.
Yeah, I was so bullish on it, and that was a bust.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck. This is it. And
Gotta
yeah,
have it. Gotta have it. Yeah.
did not happen.
There are a lot of maybe that's some content for the space sometimes too. When we look at like um, tickers that ran really hard and what they're doing right now, right?
Yeah, well, it crossed my mind earlier, the one that you showed me, XBT. I was like, I wonder how XBT is doing today. Because you were talking about waiting for confirmation at when it reaches a certain price. And I remember you were saying you were waiting for XBT to hit 0.06. That would be the, or maybe it's 0.75, but something like that. And you're like, that's where we'll see a breakout. So we have to watch it until it hits that point. And that was like a month ago. And if I go to charts, so 1695. So where was it that you were saying? I'm trying to, maybe it was 0.016. I think maybe this was the point that it needed to get to, if I'm not mistaken.
And did it do that?
Let me see. When was this? June.
I don't have it on my.
Let me see if I go to one. Let me go back to 1 hour. So, it did rip back. Yeah, we missed the rip. It totally. And so.
Yeah. But it took that as a confirmation, right?
Forgive me.
Yes.
It hasn't got to that point. Not even close. It needs to get
not
to.
even close. So,
back.
right. So no reversal still there. Right?
Yeah, so we're waiting for it to get up to the point. You were saying to the 0.6 mark, I think.
Could be. I don't have the chart in front of me.
Or was it
But if I said
0.006?
that,
0.006. Yes, it was
That's
0.0065, somewhere around there. And because if you look to the left, you can see that's where it had support for like the longest time. That was like basically the floor, and now it's dipped below that. And so there's a little pump is when Bitcoin was pumping recently, the last couple days. It looks like it pumped a little bit and then back down.
Pump back, yeah.
But another one that's actually remarkable is AIXBT is always insane to look at because of the hack that happened on Ethereum like 6 months ago. It heavily impacted the chart. But since then, it has recovered greatly. It's at 18.5 cents, down from the all-time high of like, dude, where was the all-time high? It's something unholy.
In bed.
96 cents. Yeah, AIXBT, but it's at 18 cents right now. So this one, when you're talking potential upside and everything, but you were also talking about how the tech on some of these is like a little cooked. And I feel like AIXBT is like, it's, when it came out, it was very groundbreaking, but now it's like, dude, people make stuff like this
Yes, it's moved so hard and it
Yeah.
moves so fast in that
Yeah.
AI area, right? So you really got to watch it. But then the charts that already were doing well with that AI, like TARS AI, totally has that cooked utility on AI. But the chart performs so well, so people are willing to ignore.
for TARS AI.
Yeah, right. They're willing just because it has such a good price move. So
Yeah, I sent you the trenches to LFJ just because it's worth looking at. Just because it's, yeah, dude, I love invention and I love new toys to play with. So this checks a couple of boxes. BTC break the chain. Oh, that's kind of a bullish ticker. I wonder, they have a website. What is this?
what is Boop Fun?
Boop Fun. That's the Boop was a launch platform.
Okay.
Boop.fun. That was around the bonk launch.
Tofu-chan. You know, Tofu-chan is a very famous Shiba Inu.
Oh, and that's
Yeah.
you're seeing that in the trenches right now.
No, but it's somebody who calls it tofu. It just reminded me, like yesterday we were talking about these, or the day before, about the Shiba Inus, right? And I kind of went down the rabbit hole of the Shiba Inus like a while ago. So that whole there are some famous Shiba Inus that actually have really big YouTubes or really big TikToks.
Wow.
And one of them is Tofu-chan. Look up on YouTube and then do Tofu-chan. He will actually say like, "Konnichiwa," right, and he will start. He is actually like the most positive dog, but in a funny way, like a sarcastic way. He's all about eating bread. It's funny.
Huh.
Some days you just want to eat some bread.
Everyone is welcome
Oh,
at home.
Jesus, that was loud.
Tofu-chan.
Yeah. Tofu Pupper on Instagram.
Yeah, tofu pup. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tofu-chan. So yeah, it's funny. Just hold on. I'm gonna play a segment of what he says. It's actually so fun. So Tofu-chan, and then do the motivation because he's really good at that motivation. He had a lot of followers. This is like it's motivation time with Tofu. His name is Tofu. Here we go. Episode 1. It's just
It's
funny.
motivation time with Tofu. It's time to get your motivation. Have you been having a rough day? Well, it's okay because yesterday today was tomorrow, and tomorrow today will be yesterday. So don't worry about it.
That was it. That's these lame. It has the motivation time with Tofu. This is Tofu-chan. I think he has a lot of following. The Tofu Pupper, he's like 300K followers.
Yeah, 250,000. Yeah.
Just on YouTube alone, right? And yeah, Tofu-chan, and he loves bread too. He does funny things with bread. Also, he has that "You're gold," but it has some logic. Tofu-chan bread. He's. And I thought this was also would be a good meme coin, making bread, right? And Tofu-chan is loving his bread.
Oh yeah. Let's get this bread. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Exactly. Oh yeah, you can donate all types of bread. Hold it. This is fun too. So his name is actually Tofu.
皆さんこんにちは。It's me, Tofu-chan. Do you have bread that is taking up too much space in your house? I want you to send me that bread. I'm accepting all types. Baguettes, sourdough, loaf of bread, potato bread, brioche, pita bread, bagel, banana bread, communion wafer, and all other bread. And for a limited time, you can send me not one, but two breads. That's right, not one, but two breads. What am I doing with the bread? It's a secret. Call now, 1-800-TOLL. Goodbye for now.
Maybe I should send all his bread to Toby. Oh, Lamb just got on stage. Hello, Lamb.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Good morning.
Good morning. I have been solo with the four kids today, so busy, but we got nap time, so
Ah, cool.
doing good.
Cool. Very good.
How are you guys?
Yeah. We just been, having like a chill space instead of a chill space, which is also good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
I've been enjoying the combo.
yeah, right. Well, I know that we are going to talk about technical analysis or learning that, and that's going to take some time, and then people check. I know that's going to happen, but sometimes you just want to do it, right?
Yeah.
And for maybe somebody wants to learn, so I'm just going to do that.
I like it. I'd like to hear more of that and be able to actually kind of watch the screen. I was able to look at the screen a couple times that Tick was
For,
streaming, but
for the which one? See the screen for what?
For when we started talking about the trend line, how to draw that trend
Oh
line,
yeah.
yep.
Oh man.
especially how to set up swing trades, because this is how you set up swing trades. Successful swing trades, right? You can look for other setups too, I'm sure, but this is the recipe for a good swing trade uh, that is a swing trade. You don't want to swing for 10%. That's scalping. You want to swing for, like I said, 50%, 60 minimum. You got to make some bread. We're not here to, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah. So
Yeah.
a swing trader, it looks only for this stuff, forgets everything else. It's not looking for quick opportunity on a future perhaps or something. That's a totally different view on the chart. That when you're a swing trader, you're looking for this stuff. If you're not seeing it, you're moving on, right? So this is the pattern that you're looking for always. You're going to draw that trend line. You're going to be how far off we are, determine if that's going to happen this week, and you should look at it again or sooner or later, right? And you're going to filter out to that, and that is just going to be continuing for you if you're a swing trader. And because you need to be successful 80%, you're waiting always for a confirmation. And some other people said, yeah, but if you would have bought lower, you would have made more. Yes, but that's quicksand. And if a swing trader is getting stomped out, you just lost you just lost the trade. You're just taking a hit, because that money now needs to be stuck in there for how long for it to pump back to where you
Yeah.
invested again. So, or you need to save your bag, and there's no swing trader is going to spend time on that. The swing trader trades a breakout, a confirmed breakout, so that it's 80% sure this is going to be a successful trade. And then you're going to put in your targets and have it done with. Move on to the next. Right, so it doesn't look for necessary per se that early buy to buy as early as possible. Absolutely not. You're buying on a confirmation that it is going to pump.
Yeah, I made the
That's
mistake.
that's why I always say, like, try and buy as low as possible for your DCA. But when things start to rip, if it's a confirmed rip, you can always add to your bag then and there if you still have some gunpowder for that project. And just take on that swing trade then with that money. Don't FOMO. So sometimes you don't need to FOMO on getting as much in on the bottom as possible. If the thing's gonna rip, you're gonna make money either who, right? So you just add to that confirmation, because now you know for sure 80% is gonna rip. Add the rest of what you couldn't buy on the floor, add it there, because then you're sure that money is gonna make money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that one of the founders, Keone Han on Monad,
Mm-hmm.
he did a live stream today. Did you see that?
I didn't, but I saw that he. Well, I saw that he did, but I didn't. I wasn't
Did you
It was
check it
3 hours
out?
ago. I have not checked it out yet. I just found it on his page. So he posted the full recording. It's some other guy from, I think, Switchboard, it looks like, because they announced it the day prior, yesterday. Interviewed him. So just all about Monad. So
Yes, yes,
I'm gonna check it out here when we get off.
it might be something I'm gonna fall asleep to tonight.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know.
it's about an hour long, a
Mm.
little less than an hour, so hmm hmm
Yes, 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 yes. It could be very well. But I just, plug some, and yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty
I
bullish
saw
on
that he posted
Monad
it
right now.
because I have it on notice. But it was kind of like in my day going like, yes, I don't have time in
Yeah,
particular. Yeah,
yeah, sure.
but I'm gonna. It's very interesting. We want to go ahead and see what happens.
hmm
See what maybe he's giving some alpha on that monad.
Yeah, for sure.
Also right now we have um, Coinbase is currently broadcasting on X the live State of Crypto Summit,
Oh yeah.
and
Whoa.
that's a video live coin on the Coinbase X account. Just noticed that. If you guys are, I heard Shibo talking about that this morning
Mhm.
because Bark mentioned that they stole his name. State of Crypto is his space title every day,
Oh yeah, huh?
and they labeled it that State of Crypto Summit. But anyway, 25,000 people tuned into that right now, listening. So
Holy hell.
be
So
interesting.
that's
Oh
and
shit.
that's not on X, is it?
No, it is. Yeah, it's on X.
No, it is.
That's on their gold checkmark account, their Coinbase account.
Of course, when you have a gold checkmark account, your space will not be glitchy at all.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully
you,
not. I would really get pissed if that was the case. Yeah, if you pay for the golden check.
you pay a decent amount of money, yeah, depending on what tier you got there. But
And then Elon is gonna be like, "Oh, just tinker around with your connection a little bit here."
yep. Make sure all the bandwidth is free in their direction.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Uh,
hmm
it's yeah, 26,000 people watching, like you were saying. But yeah, this is wild. That's pretty cool. So who is this guy? Professional athlete? What the? Why is he the official face of crypto? What? I mean, I get that he's not the official face of crypto, but I don't understand why it's an NFL star. Because he's famous. What he says is more like important.
Oh, 皆さん、こんにちは.
Oh,
I
sorry.
didn't see you there.
Sorry, stop.
Why didn't they bring on an expert? Is he a crypto expert and an NFL player?
I don't even know anything about him.
I mean, I was just
I don't
kidding
even know who
around.
that is yet. But hopefully, this is just a small portion of it.
Most likely, it's
You
just
know
a
what I mean?
giant commercial for Coinbase. I mean, I don't know. I'm just being a bear.
Hey,
But
you never know. You never
Coinbase.
know.
I mean, I
But
use Coinbase. I use the hell out of Coinbase. So I mean, I got to give it that like when it comes to using an exchange, I don't know why, but I prefer it over Binance, Kraken, and what's the other one that I use sometimes? Mainly Kraken and Binance, but I don't know why. I just always go back to
Yeah.
Coinbase. And that's probably just negligence and me not researching like how much I'm paying in fees. It's just convenience that
No,
and
I've always gone back to them as well. In terms of like onboarding fiat,
yeah,
I still
yeah,
think it's the best in the United States.
it's
But
easy.
that's because we're here in the U.S. It might not be that way everywhere, but
True.
and
Yeah.
they have a decent user interface. But um, Wild, did you hear about the Circle coming to XRP? You hear that news?
Yes,
I heard
because
about that on Bankless.
yeah, I actually got people in my DMs.
Nice.
Wild. And I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
yes, I
bullish. That's
yeah.
bullish for XRP.
Yes, bullish for XRP. Yes, 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 yes. Well, you know, XRP never changed for me.
Yeah.
So it's tough to keep tabs, right? That's basically all
Sure.
I'm doing for that bag. And that bag, XRP moves when it wants to move. And we all gave up on how on other tokens that move with the market. XRP does its own thing. And so, it's best to leave that chart alone. When it pumps, you'll know it. When
You'll
it
know it.
pumps,
Yeah.
we'll put the smoke signal. We'll all be in our yard smoke signaling each other. Pump. Wake up, right? Look at your XRP. But yeah, I think the most of the XRP holders not even looking at the chart.
Yeah.
I kind of know this, right?
True.
So, it's because it pumps when it pumps. Because we don't when we look at the market, there's nothing. There's no bearing on XRP with that at all. So it usually moves against the market that way. It's like, yeah, well, XRP does what it needs to do when it's time to do it, and also doesn't respond to news.
Why is that? Why does it do its own thing?
I don't know. Some tokens just do. And I'm bullish on those, right? Because they
Yeah.
not necessarily adhere. And that just tells you that Bitcoin holders are not necessarily XRP holders. XRP is its own island, kind of. ADA did that for a while too, ADA chart. And that's because it's an island in crypto. And it just tells you that the people that are holding XRP are basically, the majority of them are XRP maxis.
That's
And
all
they
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 hold.
not,
Yeah.
yeah, but when you have Bitcoin maxis, right? So I'm liking Bitcoin as well.
They take
But you have
profit
people
into
that
other
see
tokens.
XRP as Bitcoin.
Yep. There's lots.
Yeah, very much. And that's why it does move when it wants to move, and not necessarily with the market. It's just because a lot of people in Bitcoin may not hold XRP, and vice versa. There's no relation between those. And ADA is kind of like the same.
Hmm.
People who are bullish on ADA are ADA bulls, and not necessarily having anything else, right? Yeah, they're only in that ecosystem. So, and the same goes for XRP. Yeah, you know me. Right?
So
I have
did
an
you guys?
XRP.
Are you guys still on Pandaria, or did you guys quit? You guys quit the game. I don't see
I'm
anything
just
popping
not doing.
off.
I'm just
Mac.
not doing it today. I mean,
Ah.
my head hurts a little bit still too, so I'm just
I mean, I pulled my liquidity from my original token,
Yeah.
but I'm still buying the pairs on there just for
Different.
activity.
Okay.
Different.
Yeah, different, different.
I told everybody I was gonna rug already, right? It's gonna play a song for a week.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna rug you.
That's so good.
Hmm.
That's what we're gonna do.
What Wild? What did you get your activity down to on Layer Hub?
0.06.
Oh, that's awesome.
Where are you at, Lamb? On
I think
that?
I'm 0.8. I haven't checked it today. Let me go look. Let
So,
me
but I
go
didn't do
look.
that much today, so I'm giving you a chance due to
To catch
injury.
up. Oh, I'm at 0.7. So it just updated for me.
See, you just need to do
So
two transactions more and get me.
yeah.
It's all right. All good fun. All good fun.
Yep, yep, yep.
Nice.
We
That's
gotta get. We just gotta get down to that sub 10,000 leaderboard.
That would be so bullish if we can get there. It's doable. It's
What's it gonna
doable.
take? What's our percentage
I
gonna
don't
be
know,
at when
but
we're
it's
sub?
I don't know, but just the fact that we're doing this consistent over time is going to help lots, right? And so also when you I noticed that we get into this the lower we get, the less transactions we need to keep that up.
Yeah.
So the more monad you will save, and the more monad you have in the wallet is another indicator of the specialness of your wallet, right?
Right.
So some things are going to be unfolding just from you doing that consistently daily, and then having monad. If you're still milking the monad faucet two to three times a day or something like that,
Of course.
you are actually gonna and then stake that away. If you return that in your wallet and you somehow have magical 100 monad sitting there, that wallet is going to be 0.0 something, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to add to your the bullishness of your overall how that counts overall. So also the days in a row that you do this are going to be a part of that equation too. So naturally over time, the longer you stick with it, the more bullish your wallet will be.
Yeah, like the streak that you
Yeah,
have in there
the streak
too.
that you have
How
in
many
there.
active days
Yes.
overall, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Good
I
stuff.
wonder if they're gonna
Eventually
have
that will happen. Yeah.
I'm wondering if they're gonna have anything attached to your activity in the Discord or activity on X.
I don't know. It would seem like it would. I tagged them a few times just to, make it known. I don't know how much impact I have, but um, I don't know. I don't know. There are some mod roles in the Discord, but I'm not lending myself for that, right?
Hmm.
I am not in Discord as much anyways. I'm just when I'm in Discord, I'm looking up for my alts to see the news, or and I do that maybe once every 2, 3, 4 weeks, right?
Right.
I'm not necessarily the person to go into the XRP Discord just to say hi every day to everybody
Yeah.
and make friends there or something. I don't feel. Some people feel, yeah, it's fine, right? If that's your family,
Yeah.
that's your friend. Jasmine has like a very very hardcore Discord like that. Tell you that much. You go in every day. Yes, and these mods are there every day. They have been for years. Yes.
Damn.
Yeah. So that you got to be, special. But yeah, I'm not trying to judge these people. We're holding spaces every day, talking to each other. Right? Same thing. We do use a different platform. But
Hmm.
I just don't like Discord that much. I think it's great for information, but I'm much more a TG person. If I'm anywhere, I'm in a TG, and even there, I'm not having a lot of conversation or be in the TG all the time, right? And I go into my groups that I'm a part of, being like, "Hey, good morning," in here, and that's basically all you get from me.
Hmm.
That's just to tell everybody, yeah, I'm still holding my bag, I'm still here, right? But
Hmm.
it's not to make friends per se, and yeah, be in there all the time. And no, that's not for me. I like to be in spaces then more. If in anything, I'm going to spend my time there.
Ooh, I some new alpha. I don't know
Give
if
it
you've
to
seen
me.
it. Farcaster on Monad. Farcaster on Monad. I forgot because Farcaster's like an EVM network. From what I understand, I have it.
Well, hold on a minute. I saw something about Farcaster. I thought it
Yeah,
was bullish.
they did
Hold on,
some. There's
hold
some
on.
apps, so I'm actually logging in right now to see what this is all
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
But
Farcaster.
because
Let's check some. Let's check that link.
yeah, I'm on there. I'm on
It's Farcaster XYZ, right?
um yes, farcaster.xyz.
Yes. Just to make sure we get the right ones.
Cool. I just logged in. Well, I'm in Farcaster, but I don't see
Are you
anything.
doing like mini apps or something? Is that what you're
That's
doing?
what. Yeah, it says Farcaster edition. Maybe let's see. Create a Farcaster account first before going to the mini app page. So I wonder what these mini apps are, and if you can farm Monad by participating. So let's see. We
Okay,
got
so mini apps enable developers to
ooh,
distribute native-like
faucet.
apps for Farcaster users. Mini apps are the easiest way to deliver engagement, high retention, and easy to monetize applications. Right? So that's basically what they do. So it's built for social. It retains your users. Why? Get started introducing your mini app, load your app, sharing your app, interact with Ethereum, interact with Solana.
Oh my gosh, you can
Publish your
faucet.
art.
I just got zero point 0.5 Monad. There's a Monad faucet in Warpcast that you can get.
What?
Yes, fam.
Oh my God, you
Your
guys
boy
have so
came
much.
through, yo. Hell yeah.
Okay.
You guys.
I love it when I'm like have a hunch about something and it ends up actually being something. That's the
Yeah.
best.
I just
So
think it's fun that you guys are so bullish on the faucet. Oh my God, I get some extra bonus.
yes, dude.
See
Which
how
where's the faucet at? Inside which
So
one?
monad.xyz/mini apps slash
Yeah,
editors
I'm in
dash
that.
choice. So it's called Faucet. It's on editor's
Hold on.
choice.
Slash meeting apps.
Yeah, here I'm gonna send you the URL to slash. Here I'm
Yes,
gonna put
thank
it in
you.
the Telegram. What's the ticker Telegram, Lamb?
Yeah, do
So
that.
this is the URL, and then halfway down on the right side, there's one that's called Faucet. And so I saw that, and I was like,
That one just says by Monad XYZ. That's just the regular faucet, yeah?
No. Another it looks the same, but it says every Warpcaster user can claim once every 6 hours, and you sign in, and then I think so. It's sent to my Warpcast wallet, which is a different wallet. If I remember correctly, show all. Where's my monad on here? Yep. So I got the 0.5 monad, but yeah, this is on my Warpcast wallet. So from here, I can go monad, select this, and then go to. Let me make sure I can transfer it.
Oh, that forecaster, but I gotta do it. I gotta first download it from the
Oh,
app store.
yeah, I have it. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then do it. So
So,
I'm not gonna do that because uh, I have
I
a
wonder if
new
I can.
phone
I wonder
and
if I can do that on my with MetaMask because you got to use
well,
it like with an app on your phone, yeah.
well, it's yeah, you can, but it's its own wallet. So like you can do
I
whatever.
see.
So I have. So right now I'm gonna take my. Which one's my Monad wallet? Yeah, this one, and then I'm going to transfer it from my Farcast to my Monad wallet because it's a different wallet than the one that I use for everything else. But
Yeah.
so, but
Smart.
yeah, it creates a like a non-custodial, like its own wallet. Let's see, Ethereum. And then I'm going to go ahead and transfer on Farcaster. But yeah, I downloaded Farcaster a while back because I saw a bunch of like KOLs were on there and stuff. And I was like, okay, this might be bullish. But I just don't know what the hell the purpose of it is. It seems it's kind of like Zora, except for Ethereum network is basically my understanding of it. It's a fractionalized NFT trading platform that uses content, tokenizes it, and then incentivizes it through a reward system. Send, come on. But yeah, I should be able to do this. Come on, show all monad, and then paste. So, and then max, review, send. Cool. So sending monad. Send failed. Oh, what? That's not good. The hell? Maybe it's because it's my first time trying to do that. Try one more time. Yeah, this could be bearish. I don't know. Sending monad, send failed. Okay, so there's some reason that it's not working. So this was a giant waste of my time right now. I'll have to like come back to this and figure out what's the deal. So damn, I got all excited for nothing. Add to claim 1,000 QR, but there's a lot of opportunities on Warpcaster to like claim tokens and stuff. I've like I got rewarded 1 USD randomly. I don't even know what I'd done. Right now, I just got 1,000 QR tokens. You constantly can get rewarded free crypto just for like using the app, like doing whatever with it. But they also have this gambling thing. It's like a slot machine. Where is it? Oh, warp slot. So when you have Warpcaster, you go to the warp slot, and then it's like you get every day you get like some number. You get spins that you can do. Like you get right now, I have 5 spins, and I hardly ever do this. It was just something I kind of figured out when I was seeing what the app is. But like I've actually been rewarded a bunch of crypto from doing this. Like let me see, I've got 2,000 based coins. I got 268 checker coins. I got 130 tower coins. So I mean they're not really worth anything, but I don't know if you like stuff like that, I guess it's cool. But I just kind of wanted to see if I was missing out on anything. I get really bad FOMO if you guys haven't noticed, and so when I'm like, oh, something new, like a new platform, like what's here, like what's going on. But
Yeah, I had seen that one a few days ago when they posted it, and never really did much with it just because of you have to link your X to it and then log in with your X and all that stuff when you
with
create the
Warpcast.
Farcaster account.
Oh,
No, the
okay.
Farcaster account.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I didn't mess with it too much.
Yeah.
I might in a little bit, but
Yeah, I'm on there as TickWeb3. And I'm kind of just in a vacuum by myself. I don't like have I have some people that pop up on my For You page and I don't know who any of them are. So I feel like it's like my first day on the internet whenever I open the app. Like it's like you know, it's just I don't know what you're
It's
supposed
funny.
to do with it. So it's like, okay. Whatever. Farcade. Yeah, I don't know about exploring this too much, but I thought it was kind of cool that Monad had something new to look at. Maybe that's what
Yeah.
their live stream was about. I'm just kidding, probably not. Let me see. Let's see what's going on. Have you been minting on Magic Eden, Lamb? Have you taken advantage of all the cool stuff that you can do on there?
I have a few times. I actually even listed one of mine yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yesterday. Um, I don't think it probably has sold, but yeah, I just listed something for fun on there. I haven't bought something on Magic Eden on Monad for about a week though.
Mm.
It's been a while, so if you got any new mints or
Same.
something,
Same.
send
I
them my
haven't.
way.
Well, dude, I'm all out of Monad again. But yeah, for the last couple days, I've dialed it back a little bit because ever since we started trading on the exchanges, I've been kind of like racking that up because you can get a lot more transactions in.
Yes, same.
So I didn't see, but I like to pop into the Magic Eden Mint terminal just to see because sometimes there'll be something that's just like very, very appealing that will pop up on the minting platform. Where the hell? I don't know how I can get to the mint terminal now though. What did I do here? Oh, there it is. I needed to click the hamburger. So, but yeah, the last couple times I checked the mint terminal today, it's kind of the same old stuff. Motion Monad. Yeah. So, and then there's another way to, what is it? The NFT mint terminal, or there's another way to view them as well where I've come across the more like rare looking ones or whatever. But anywho, Wilder, do we still got you here? And Cholana, I had invited Cholana up on stage too because I kind of wanted to talk about something if he wanted to explore it. But let's see what else is new. Let's see. Have you had any luck with any trades or anything lately, Lamb?
No, nothing major.
Have you been
Um,
DCAing anything, like accumulating anything, or anything that you're like particularly like bullish on?
I mean, I'm bullish on a lot of things, but um,
For me,
not nothing crazy, nothing too out of the ordinary.
yeah, yeah. For me, I would say like it's kind of Sui that I'm like delusional on right now. Wilder's
Yeah, I
kind
heard
of
you
like
talk about it.
she's kind of like lit this fire inside of me that it's like
Sue's gonna do great, I think,
yeah,
especially with the rest of the bowl,
yeah,
end of the year for sure. I think
yeah.
Sue's gonna do great.
You know the image of Rick and Morty, and Rick is like prying Morty's eyeballs open to have him look. You, the Rick and Morty thing.
Yeah,
No?
yeah.
So that's what it's like with Wilder. That's her showing me this is Sui. Look at all the
Opening your eyes.
potential. Look at all the potential in Sui. Yeah.
See it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a good show. Yeah, I can show really good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Wild, you are one of the best
Good
when it comes to
show.
shilling.
Yes.
I'm just making some. I'm just making some protein something.
Hell yeah.
Something with
Don't talk
protein.
to me. Don't talk to me about food yet.
There you go. That's my alpha for today. High protein.
Still fasting.
Ooh, gnarly. Oh yeah. You do intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Well, I accidentally did it today too. Not because, but just because I somehow missed some appointments and got into a hurry. And then it turned out that I was on the road a lot more than I expected. And so I do always have like a protein bar tucked away somewhere, a protein drink or something. When for that when that happens. But it kind of time just passed me by today, and also because my head was still hurting too, so it kind of was so distracting. And at one point, it was like two p.m. in the afternoon. I was like, I still gotta eat, and my gains are leaving my body.
Oh yeah, that's terrible to do. Yeah.
I gotta eat now, feed the muscle. Because I'm not gonna lie, now, you guys, that's actually how I feel when I do that fasting. At one
Your
point, I will
body's
feel that's just because you're gonna lose some water, right? So immediately you start feeling shrinkage in the muscle, and you're just like, oh my god, my gains are leaving. Of course,
yeah.
they're not leaving, but the fluid is leaving them, right?
Yeah. And you physically feel weaker too. You know,
Yes.
as your body goes into that catabolic stage and starts eating away at the muscle to for energy, it's like you feel yourself
Well,
eating.
no, look, this is, I got to give you some alpha on this. So, if you're doing max 4 days fasting, that won't happen
Oh no
because
way.
that is like a built-in thing, right? So here's the built-in evolutionary thing, and that is it's gonna first use up old cells in your body for energy before it wants to go to your muscle. Why is it doing that? Okay, so let's say Dick, that we're living 100,000 years ago, right? And we need to climb into a tree or exert some other muscle, something that we need our muscles for to do. So let's say we need to climb a tree to get
Mhm.
food because there's an animal in that tree that we usually hunt, right? So we used to climb these trees for these animals. But one day, you have an animal, the next, maybe not, right? Maybe you're unsuccessful. And so your body is allowing for that factor of being unsuccessful, but it won't just, it's like, okay, this time we couldn't climb the tree, or we climbed the tree but there was no food, so we're not getting any energy. But it doesn't mean that we somehow don't have the muscle to climb the tree the next day. We still need that muscle, and your body knows this. So it's going to give you some time to be successful. So you will be able to climb the tree and have that muscle ready to go for that for a while to come. That is going to be your survival mechanism. At one point, that will stop, but that will take actually more than these 4 days that you're
Yeah.
fasting. Now, if you're
Huh.
fasting for a longer period of time, you're doing that for autophagy benefits, not necessarily for weight loss, right? So, or for fat loss, even.
Hmm.
So yes. So what does that mean? Okay, so when you're fasting, you got to do your workouts. You got to pretend that you're, hunting the animal.
Uh huh.
If you're not doing workouts, so you're not telling your body we need to still this muscle,
Yeah.
then it will start to also eat your muscle, yes, because
Wow.
it is a catabolic state. But the catabolic state will initially try and help you, and that's that AMPK process. You can actually still build muscle too in that, and for a short while in that phase,
Yeah. So
because
can so you
because you
can
need to
lift
have, yeah, what it needs to do
fasted?
is to give you all the potential you need,
Hmm.
and all you need to get food.
So lifting fasted isn't like the worst thing for you?
No,
Like going
no,
to
it's
the
not the
gym and
worst
like
thing at all.
lifting heavy on an empty stomach?
Yeah, it's not the worst thing at all.
Huh. You'll actually burn fat doing that.
I do that
No,
almost every
not
day.
that much. Look, well, not that much. Look, there's
Right.
first of all, when you do a fasted strength training or resistance training
It's hard.
for hypertrophy, you are gonna try and to have, even if you're low carb, you're gonna try and have the last meal of the day before you start your fasting to have your carbs load in there, right? So even if you have 50 grams of carbs a day, or very say 150, when you have 150 a day, you might want to eat the 100 in the evening then. And that's just a preload for your glucose for your workout. So you're going to have to be a little bit smart about that. So, but if you're fasting longer, uh, and if you break your fast, you want to kind of have that workout pushed as far out towards where you're going to break it. So let's say if I start eating at 2 p.m., I want my workout to be at like 12. So when I come home, I can actually have the meal and replenish. Right,
Mm-hmm.
that would actually be like the optimized way to do it, but that's the optimized way, and you will gain like a 10-15% advantage with that. But yeah, so if you're just doing this, it's okay if you are not optimizing it in this way.
Hmm.
But if you are feeling a little bit depleted in these workout, then might you might want to think about loading some carbs in the night before, the last with your last meal that you start fasting with. So we have that last meal, and then just allocate the carbs there, the carbs that you can have, allocate them there,
Mm.
most of it. It also will help you sleep good because yeah, the carbs sometimes carb coma is a thing, and we use that with little children as well. We give them porridge, warm porridge before they go to bed, right? Some rice porridge or some oatmeals or some grains, and
Mm-hmm.
it actually will make them sleepy. Yeah, and sleep better throughout the night. So sometimes if that's you and you're responsive to that, then yeah, loading your carbs in the last meal is the perfect idea for good sleep, and to have that liver ready with glucose, right, for to be used in that workout. But here's the alpha on burning extra calories. No, you're not. In a fasted state or as an eating state, it's
Mm-hmm.
all about energy in and energy out. So it's not like you're burning extra fat, especially not in a steady state if you're not doing steady state cardio. So with steady state cardio, you are actually preferring that you are actually prioritizing fat burning there.
Uh-huh.
But as soon as you start to run, you're going to deplete your muscle because you're going to draw out glucose. So a lot of people do like exertive things like running, and intermittent sprinting is different in that way. But just consistent running is going to deplete your glucose even more because it just going to suck your muscle dry. So you want to do that steady. That's why bodybuilders love that steady state cardio, and they do it in the fastest state to get a little bit of an advantage there, burning some extra fat. Um, but actually, a hypertrophy workout, if you're not supersetting things, right? If you're just doing your regular workout, I mean, any woman will only, in 1 hour, uh, spend like 150, 170 calories. And for a guy, that would be maybe like 250, 300. But if you would just be alive for that hour, you would have been burning like 50 to 80 for a woman to begin with. So that whole hypertrophy workout is going to cost you 80 calories, and that's because it's not a cardio energy based workout, right? It's a lactic in your lactic energy system.
Mm.
So in cardio you're using oxygen, and in lactic and alactic state you're using that muscle acid, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why in strength training you actually feel sometimes a really woozy, right, when you lift heavy.
Uh-huh.
That's because you're exerting energy without oxygen. So you temporary have no oxygen.
Oh. Huh.
Yes.
Like doing
Cardio is the only
deadlifts and
one
feeling
that
like you're gonna
uses.
pass out.
Yes, exactly.
It's so gnarly when the room starts
Yeah,
spinning.
I love that. Do you think it's gnarly? I love that. I'm
Uh,
like, oh my god, I'm in another universe. Woo.
yeah, it's
Really?
cool. It's cool. It's just sometimes I'll have to like. Well, it's been a minute since I've deadlifted, but I would like squat because I would have to get down closer to the ground because I was afraid I'd just fall over.
Yeah. And that's the moment that when you need to go up, that's the moment when you need to exert the most amount of energy in your squat. That's why you're gonna that no oxygen is gonna hit you hard. By the time you get up, you're like the whole world is you're just landing in a different universe. I love that. And
Yeah.
sometimes I need to just sit there for 4 minutes, just almost being passed out.
Yeah. It's
I
making me
actually
want to
passed out
deadlift.
from a deadlift. Yeah.
You
I
have
walked
passed
back and
out?
just the lights went out. Yeah.
I've seen some gnarly videos of people doing messed up things deadlifting for sure. God, I want to say somebody like went to the bathroom in their pants or something while
Well,
in one of the videos.
oh, women have that lots about deadlifting.
Oh yeah, seeing pee is like
Oh,
common, yeah, or not common, but I've seen
well,
the pee.
especially for women who, may not have already have some trouble in an area.
Uh
Oh,
huh.
for sure, a deadlift will. Yeah. Oh,
And then
yeah.
and then squeeze some pre-workout and some overhydration in there as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's got nowhere to go.
Got nowhere to go, and then that pressure. Oh my God, that releases because of you're loading your posterior chain,
Mm.
and that area is a part of that, and it's gonna
Yeah.
because you need so much power and how do you say tension somewhere else. It's gonna take away from that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. That makes sense.
Yeah, and then boom, yeah.
Yeah, because you
Just
can't be. Yeah. Yeah. Damn.
and also when that happens, they don't feel that it happens. Sometimes they don't even notice it that happening.
Yeah.
They don't even feel it. It just releases in one go. Boom. That's how in the moment that quick is how it is. It is all comes out right away in one go, and they don't even notice that it happened. And then
Mm-hmm.
you look down, it's like, oops, what happened? What is this? Yeah, you peed your pants. They don't even notice.
Who peed on me?
Well, it only usually only happens when you really overextend, and usually that that doesn't happen often. You do it in your max rep, but I surely would not push any of people that I trained for competition or the juniors to push them that far. That something like that might happen because uh, that is going to fuck with them mentally. Because if you peed in your pants that way in your just your own gym, right, the one that you regularly train in with your coach, I mean that's still. I mean, body fluids are a part of this, right? Sweat, everything. So it's not that big of a deal. But then it starts really getting your head. What if that happens on a competition, man?
Oh yeah.
Everybody's looking at you being on the platform lifting.
Yeah. That's gnarly.
So that's going to be in the back of your head, and that's going to actually like put a lot of tension on what you need to do.
Oh
So
yeah.
you try not to go there in your training, even, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it usually happens with the max rep on these things. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like maxing out.
Yeah, well, you sometimes need to do that max rep, right? We gotta go there, especially if you're doing powerlifting for competition.
Right.
Yes, we
You
gotta.
mean like your max weight that you can lift, right? Or like within
Yes.
90% of that or whatever, or
No,
within
no, the
10%.
max. We're
Oh,
going
the
all out.
absolute max, yeah.
Yeah, because on your competition, you need to go all out too. We
Just for
just kind of
one rep,
yeah,
just a single
one
rep.
rep,
Yeah.
just a single rep. Yeah,
With
one rep.
deadlift, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you just do
Doing
one.
a set
Well,
on deadlift is so
for
taxing.
competition, you get 3 reps, right? But you
Mm-hmm.
do one at a time, and then it's your best rep
Mm.
that counts. But you have 3 shots. Which is always better to do it in the first one, because that's where you're fresh.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, it sucks when you mess
But
the.
I've had it. I've had it in the gym with a max rep that was kind of very challenging for me, and I also deadlifted 3 days before. So usually when we do our max rep, we just do that after a little bit of a rest.
Uh-huh.
And I was all over the place. And I started to do that. I picked up the pickup went all good, but I couldn't set it down. I felt myself sliding already there. And as soon as the barbell hit the ground, I did one step back, and then whoop, I was out.
What is this? I just came across something. There's a global internet outage and Lovable is affected. What the hell is this? Because I tried to pull up the 1000X ticker website to see if any updates had been done on it, because I'm not gonna give away the alpha, but there is some collaboration going on, and the shape of 1000X Sui is it's looking good. But anyway, so I've been implementing some some stuff into the back end of that. And so as I was doing that just now, I see there's a global internet outage. So I'm like, how? Apparently it's not global enough because you and I are talking to each other. But
Well, maybe we are trapped in this space together.
shoot,
If we go out, we can't get back in.
oh shoot, there's a global internet outage right now, according to Lovable. Elaborate on this. I wonder what the hell it's referring to.
I don't know, but at this point, I'm just shamelessly eating. Oh, you guys don't mind. I'm so hungry.
Over here in California, there's like chaos going on. I don't know if you've heard. You probably haven't heard about it on your side of the world, but like there's like basically like riots going on in Los Angeles.
Oh yeah, of course we
people,
hear about these leftist people over here are just,
It's
tossing the
wild.
joy into your face on every occasion that they get. Yes, they also do that here.
It's
Like,
crazy.
look at this oppression. And it's like, I don't see oppression. Okay.
Dude, yeah, it's wild. And but yeah, that's very close to home. That's 45 minutes north of me. So I could drive to LA for fun. Like it's relatively close. I work right by there too. I'm only like 10 minutes away from there where I work, but yeah, I don't even. It's just weird that that's going on because it's like people are like not leaving the house, like on the freeways and stuff. It's like empty right now because no one wants to go anywhere because they're afraid of getting deported. And it's wild, man. It's really wild.
Yeah.
But that's what's going on over here. How about in your neck of the woods? How are things in the good old Amsterdam?
Well, not much going in here. You cannot do that stuff over here, what they're doing over there.
Really? If you try to do like
Yeah.
protests and stuff like that, the police will.
No, not like that. No, you get a water cannon on your ass like very quickly.
Yeah. That's what.
We have special fields that you can do that. But you can, and if you want to go through the city, you better have like a permit and pay for all security there to keep people safe. Most of the brokies don't have that, so there's that. But you can be on the damn square. You can be on Museum Square, do it. You can in Den Haag do it in the political area that's actually a big area. You can invite any media that you want. But you cannot touch other people's property. You cannot touch other people's cars and stuff. And because because there's always assholes who are doing that here, then you're gonna have to go to that field. It's called the Malieveld in Den Haag. It's right behind the political heartbeat of the Netherlands, so you are very close by to the people that you're trying to get a message to in the first place, right? Close to the fire. And then you can just stand there. On the damn square, you can do it too, Museum Square. But you cannot just march through the streets like that. No. And especially not touch it. You're going to be, no, there's going to be a water cannon. You're going to be, no. But you're free to protest, right? But you can't be doing shit like that. You cannot. I didn't ask for you to break my window with your protest, and I'm not okay with that's my property, right?
Yeah. I was thinking, we should figure out a way that I can share my screen with you in a way that's not intrusive for you. Because if I want to show you how to use Suno, I don't know if Telegram would be the best way to do it.
Yeah, Telegram. We're just going to do video chat there.
Video chat on Telegram?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. So
there I can see live too what happens, what you're doing.
So if I go call, start video.
You just press the video, yeah.
Start video. Oh, and then screencast. Holy hell. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So then I do this, share screen. Oh, jeez.
Tofu chat.
Okay, cool. Did that work?
It's working. But I'm gonna have to close it because
it's a bunch of echo.
Mind.
Yeah, damn. Yeah. Let's see. What about if you pull up the little browser? Is it gonna mess things up if you watch the YouTube stream?
Yeah, but it does have a lag in there that TG doesn't have.
Yeah, it would be a little bit behind. But if
A bit,
you,
but I can, but then I cannot work in Suno at the
oh,
same
yeah, well,
because it's gonna be the same device.
you could watch me. Have you figured out how to record audio yet in there?
Yes, I did,
Okay.
and I kind of wanna because I think the microphone is a little sucky on this one. I do have my podcast because I used to do sports and fitness podcast, right? So I still have all my podcast equipment, the
Oh, sick.
microphones, yeah,
That's so cool.
these big ones, right, with the professional ones.
Mm-hmm. Um,
We used to do it from the gym. Yeah, that's fun. Just for the members, right, and everything. And then
oh shit.
I've been to some bigger podcasts on live stages and stuff too.
Oh, that's
It's
sick.
kind of fun, but it gets kind of old because you kind of it's the same topic over and over again. I know
Just
it's a lot
talking
of
about fitness.
repetitiveness. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
because like, what news
There's a
is
lot
there
of
in
repetitive.
fitness? No one's inventing like new lifting techniques, or not really. I mean, there is news. I believe me, I have a buddy that was a huge
Oh,
gym
sure.
rat, and
There's
there's news, but it's like,
science. Yeah.
something. Yeah, it's you end up talking about
New
the same stuff a
supplements,
lot. I'm
right?
sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
it's
But
just that.
overall, it's just the questions are usually always the same when you ask the audience. So they always come with the same issues.
Yeah.
So there's nothing new there either, right? And it's kind of gets repetitive. It's like a lot of people. Also, people are very hard headed, right?
Mm-hmm.
With this. So I've had it with guys, especially guys, because I'm a woman, right? When they say like, yeah, the whole bulking thing, and I'm like, how much you're gaining, and I was like, possibly you could gain a little bit more. Maybe you should have to set up your training like this,
Mm.
and start, leveraging your carbs a lot more there,
Yeah.
and
That's
we'll
usually it,
work
right?
out. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
And
every.
but then
It's
they go like,
yeah.
yes, but I'm getting. It's not like I'm not getting results, and I'm like, yeah, but are you getting the best result? We're not talking about here. Anybody who starts to freaking lift in the gym is going to get a result. But
Yeah.
are you maximizing your gains? And especially, this is my issue. If you're just starting out doing this, you have a window of about 6 months to a year max where you are actually gaining the most amount of muscle. You have the potential there to gain the most amount of muscle. After that, it's diminished return every year, more and more so, compounded. I now, after years and years and years and years, I am happy and I need a bulk for this hard, you guys. And I'm a woman, so it's even more difficult for me. But I'm working hard for maybe 2 pounds of muscle extra a year, tops. And I
Yeah.
maybe that's even going to be a pound. Yeah,
Without performance
because you're
enhancers, that's still a lot.
yeah
You know.
without performance enhancing. Yeah, but it's sticking to the diet every day out of that year, going through your meso, macro, and micro cycle of training. Very much to the T determined. Got to do the reps. Got to work progressively here. There's got to be more. And then 2 weeks of download. Change up the workout. Do it all over again. The mesocycle, right? So volume on the year, volume on the 3 months. There's everything there is calculated. Nothing is left up to chance. And then maybe there is, if I get rewarded with 2 pounds, it's a lot. But usually that just a pound. But in the first year of lifting, the first half a year in particular, you are able to gain pounds, 10 pounds, 15 pounds. These are very regularly seen when people from doing nothing all of a sudden do something, because you have that window of opportunity there. So why would you go to the gym and just do something? Why wouldn't you go to the gym? Educate yourself a little bit on how to really max out on these gains. And then you start to know that you need to eat a lot
Hey, Wild,
and
can I
not
interrupt you
just
for a second?
Yeah. What is this? Is this you, Lamb?
Yeah, yeah, I launched that, and
Yeah, sure. Go.
it already reached King of the Hill like before I could
Bro,
even share it with you guys.
bro,
Because this guy came in and put a 45 Mon purchase. You see
how in
that?
the hell?
But
Bro,
what I
dump.
did was
Oh,
I researched some lore on Monad, and this is one of
Mm-hmm.
their most beloved meme characters
Yeah.
that's within the culture, right? And so I decided I'd
yeah,
just steal their image off of their X page and launch their
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Oh, so that's the
And
Oh
alpha.
my god.
I already made
Oh
point
my
0.6
gosh.
Mon by selling my whole bag and then buying back one Mon.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
Awesome,
Get
I
that
don't know. I
money.
wanted to see if it would
Wonderful.
catch steam because look at I'm only 82% from bonding curve, and then we could see another big surge.
This is alpha.
The alpha is playing out on
So
monads.
Dude.
if you want to catch the ride here,
Yeah,
we
dude.
might just
We are
bump right here.
gonna ride this
In
wave.
fact, I might just buy another here.
We are all surfing on the
Hold
monad
on. Let
wave right
me.
here.
Can you give me the link? What's the ticker?
It's
Oh,
it's
it's
in
in the
what's the ticker?
TG.
Yeah, it's in the TG.
There we go. Test net. Hold on, because I can help you bond, right? I still have like 10 monitors.
Okay, we're at
Yeah.
83%.
Dude, this is going down right now.
Oh, I always get so when I eat yogurt with.
I think we should do this again tonight on Moonlight.
All right, let's
We should
go
because
and
there's a
put some.
couple more characters. There's the three different characters
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
for Monad.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
could do the other ones too.
That's brilliant, dude. I might want to pop in. Yeah, there's Dak and Yaki, I believe. It's
Yeah.
DAK and YAKI. And so, dude, I might want to pop in. You guys do it at 9:30, right?
10 o'clock we start
Oh,
Pacific time.
10 Pacific. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll try to hop in. Just
So
to play along with you guys or buy in. That sounds fun.
yeah, it'd be fun. So yeah, there's Molendak, Chog, and Moyaki.
Okay. Yeah.
Those are the
Molendak.
three.
Yeah.
So
And the ticker on
Molendak
Doc.
might be a good one to do.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, the ticker is Doc, I believe, for that one. DAK, Molendak. If I remember correctly. But yeah, that's sick. That's a great idea because of yeah, I mean it worked the
Yeah.
first time. Shit.
So like I couldn't even buy before that guy that threw 45 Mon on. I didn't even
Snipe
buy
you?
before him. Yeah. He just sniped me. I was about to buy my own token because it didn't give you the option to do it ahead of time, you know.
I
At
wonder
least not that I saw.
I wonder if you think he didn't use a bot to get it, do you think? There's no way, right?
You know, I don't know because look at the creation of it, right? It requires the 0.1 Mon from me automatically,
Uh-huh.
right? So that first buy is from me, and then the very second one, which was 1 minute later, I guess, technically, or maybe it could have been seconds later, I suppose, but was his. So I don't know if he's just waiting for new pairs, you know, and seeing
Seems
them
so
pop up and
unlikely.
grabbing.
It just seems so unlikely. I wonder if he has like some sort of scanner that that refreshes the page every 60 seconds, and if a coin pops
Right.
on there that meets a certain criteria, that the number of holders is one or less or whatever,
Yeah.
then it automatically makes a buy. But well, actually putting
I
a
see your buy there, Wild. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's no, I wasn't saying anything important, but I never do. But I was
Not true.
I
Not
was
true.
in a space. Was it when I was in the space with you? I believe it was. And I was just talking about how what I really enjoy about what we do here is like trying to make crypto like fun and everything, and like taking all of the and for like onboarding purposes, and as well as just like enjoyment of be like existing in this environment anyway. And that's something that I feel like Monad has done for me in like so many ways, how it's made a lot of this like so a lot more fun again, like kind of back like in my days of trading on the Phantom wallet with Solana meme coins, and how much fun that was getting wrecked. But
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, it's really sick. The whole monad thing. It's exciting too because feeling like I'm participating in something that could have some sort of like monetary reward at the end too is like kind of the icing on the cake. I mean, if I was doing this all for absolutely nothing, I think that I'd probably get over it pretty quick. But I think that it's that carrot at the end of the stick to the anticipation of, dude, when this launches, I wonder what it's going to be like, dude. It's kind of like opening up a wrapped present or whatever. You know what I mean? It could be empty,
Yeah.
but it's,
Yeah.
or like with
Hopefully not.
yeah.
I think they would learn from other projects in the past that have um, kind of had a lot of hype built up around them, and then they didn't end up really doing anything
Uh-huh.
to bless those who have been, you know, practicing and testing out their network,
Yeah.
and that does not go over well with a new launch. So I think the likelihood that they're going to do something in terms of airdrops in a decent way is pretty good
Yeah.
because A, they're well backed, right? B, they've got a good community, and C, they don't want to mess that up.
Yeah.
They don't want
Yeah.
to mess up the good vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me, or I'm getting this
No.
blackout?
Now
No,
I
that was
can.
the first we've heard of you just now.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
see. I was being in the outage. I was in a black hole.
Oh, I looked into it. Yeah, no, it's a real thing. I guess
Yeah.
like the Google cloud is down, and
Oh,
so a lot
somebody
of
just sold on us.
Oh fucker. Oh yeah,
It's
that's
that.
him.
It's that guy that bought
Yeah.
before we could
Yeah.
bond. Oh,
nice.
that
He waited till 99. Dude, that's the way to
he
do
waited
it.
till like He waited till like 86.
Yeah,
What a
that's what he
G.
does. It looked
Oh,
like
what a
motherfucker.
legend,
Yeah,
dude.
I knew that. I knew that might happen.
It was,
That's okay. We'll leave this one there.
why else would he snipe the chart? That's
Right.
so awesome.
Fun.
I thought he'd let it bond though. Man, come
I
on.
know, right?
But
It was so close. Oh, you're breaking up, Wild. I can't hear you.
Yeah, apparently there's some Google cloud that's down and or something related to that, and so there's a bunch of services
this is
that are
what I
down.
love
So
about it.
oh,
So
there we go. While they
well, that's what they do
oh
real time too. So learn that graph that they plot how much.
that's yeah, it keeps Lamb. Do I still have you in real time?
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
got
so
you,
you
but
and
she's
I.
in and
Okay.
out.
Yeah, it looks like there's
I'm in a different universe.
there
Let's
when you
go.
start singing that always works.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Elon likes that. I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys like that, but hey, I don't even care that much.
I don't know why that works, but maybe it's because it's sending more data, and it like
Yes.
I don't know. It's weird.
Oh, we got another buy.
So Spotify's down,
Buy
Discord's down, Twitch is
Bitcoin.
down, Character.ai, Cloudflare, Google Cloud.
Yeah,
So
I think it's I might just go down with it. Just literally go to bed. It's getting late, you guys. And I
true.
got it. I'm gonna have a early morning because I want to front run my day. I possibly also want to look for some trades, so I'm gonna just maybe sleep for like short 6 hours or so here.
Yeah.
And
We should try to let's front run tomorrow's space too if we can. Maybe like the quick sesh before.
yeah, well, here's the thing. It's not. It might sound very bullish to have that link out for the spaces early, but it's
Yeah.
not like you're getting more people in the space because of that.
It's not gonna make it. Okay, I hear you.
Yeah,
That's
not making
alpha.
much of a difference. That's just, yeah. I tried to have it in my Good Morning post even
Right.
with a lot of exposure that didn't make any dent at all.
Better off
People in
investing.
spaces, people in spaces are a lot more about getting in the moment. That's why it also sometimes, of course, we have regular people that are especially coming to your space, but there's also a shit ton of people that are just available in the moment. And then they're going to look, oh, there's that space, let's hop in. And that's why you see it always takes a little while for people to get into the space. And then you
Yeah.
have that peak where you go to, right? So, yeah.
Yeah,
That's the alpha on that. So it's not necessarily, giving you any benefit of doing that sooner or later. But I will try and get it out, possibly in the crypto moonlight even, right? So we can at least have a bullish post on views and stuff. And doing that. I kind of want to work on that music video for "I Want to Rock You." And I
Yeah.
kind of want to.
If
Also,
so on Suno, when you let me see. So
yeah, let's do that later in the TG. Any information
okay.
you give Wilder right now is
Yeah,
just
let's
gonna fly.
do that. Let's do that on the TG. I'll share my screen and I'll give you like a one-on-one like walkthrough that hopefully I
I'm
can
getting
show you
one.
some stuff that will
Here you go. Here you go.
level up your content.
Oh yeah, I'm getting a one-on-one for Tick. Foolish.
Yeah.
Fully.
But yeah, I hopefully I can show you some stuff that maybe you haven't seen because I watched a video when they did the last update for 4.5. I watched somebody a video about somebody showing all the features, and I was like, "Holy crap! I never thought of doing that, or I didn't know you could do that." And then in the process of exploring those things, I found even more stuff that I was like, "Holy! This is." I was like, this parallels like a digital audio workstation where you can go in and actually like you have so much control, so much control.
Yes, I'm also gonna make like a for especially for crypto moonlight. I'm gonna do that
Yeah.
monetization moment. I'm just gonna have that
What about Bar?
soundboard.
You just gave me an idea. What about I'm a Barbie girl, but I'm a crypto girl.
Oh
I don't
no, that's
in
so
a
not.
fiat world.
Oh yeah, that's kind of true. But 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 yeah,
To
that sounds a
to
little bit sounds a little bit too sweet for
you know the
Wilder.
song, right? Barbie
Oh
girl.
yeah,
Come
yeah,
on,
yeah,
Barbie.
yeah. I'm a crypto girl. A
That was
crypto girl sounds so gay.
yeah. Or I'm a crypto bull.
Well, that
I'm
sounds
a
a little bit
crypto
like a
bull. No, I
yeah.
hate it. I hate it too. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's
it's just
terrible.
that I am and just trying to, I'm a lot of stuff, but most of all, I'm Wilder. So
Yeah,
this is my name. So
that's awesome.
say my name, yeah. So hold on,
What about
let's.
that Destiny's Child then? Say my name. What would that be? Uh, in a crypto. Oh, I should ask ChatGPT. So you could ask ChatGPT for like ideas
Here we go. We're
for
gonna dive into
how
another rabbit
songs,
hole. Yeah.
crypto centric parody songs of. So I would say what would be some great ideas for a crypto parody of Destiny's Child? Say my name. All right, let's see what
Oh my gosh.
ChatGPT says. Crypto could be a great way to poke fun at Web3. So, say my wallet, gas so high. Say my chain, say my chain, say my chain. No, don't. So, hodl my name. Who's that dev?
Oh my
Trustless
name.
game, dude. Say my chain is pretty good though. Say my chain, say my chain. No one is. I don't know where it would go after that though. Oh, that's good. So, but yeah, crypto parody songs. Like I was thinking, like that could be such a thing. Like, yeah, because we've
Could
already,
be.
you know,
Yeah, could be.
because some of them make me like laugh out loud. They're so damn
Yeah,
funny.
for
Some of the
real.
ones, the one that you got that's like build me up in the light and rug me in the dark,
Rug me
or
in the dark. Yeah.
it's so good.
Leave me cold in the dark, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, so much
Hey guys,
passion.
are you seeing a level that Bitcoin just broke through?
Yes, I got just
We
mm,
going
We
down.
have we're going down 106. It broke through.
It
yeah.
broke through that 106.8,
Needed to keep that
106.6.
right, but it needed to keep that. I kind of foreshadowed this a little bit, yeah. And it's now getting that bearish divergence on the daily. So look again, right? I just want to give, but I only have two good arguments for another all-time high, but I see a ton against it. And one of these things is that bearish divergence that we are creating on that daily, and it's just not looking great for an all-time high. Now, not to say that we cannot challenge that previous all-time high, but there's going to be sell orders on there. So the longer this takes, the less likely this all becomes. And eventually, it will take the oomph out of the market because people can only stay bullish for so long before they stop believing it, right? And so, when that happens, when we lose that belief, that sentiment will flip, and everybody and their mother will freak out again, right? There's that happening. And so, right, that this is just going to be summer, it's going to be cucumber time for a little bit. And that's maybe we should focus on building your ex and building your engagement, monetization, and that kind of jazz. look for new stuff, be involved in new stuff. You know, think of your training schedule. Go to the gym, right? Lift some weights. Build yourself up in every area because you have time. Because you know that summertime is just going to be. I think summer in crypto is always the worst time because in the market is so low volume, and that's not to say that usually in July and beginning of August meme coins tend to do a little rally of their own, and that's just because everybody's getting so freaking bored that the people who are still around in the crypto, they're gonna degen the shit out of it because they're freaking bored, right? So they want that adrenaline rush again, they want their dopamine, so they are gonna be like, okay, if I can't get it there, we'll go and shitcoin on pump fund, right? So
Hmm.
that might happen. It's just that, yeah, that, oh yeah, see, and now a lot of traders knew that we needed to hold these floors. We're not holding them, so they are gonna give up straight on it and put us down in 105 even now. So um there we go, right? And we can go a lot lower than that too. uh yeah, yeah.
I was trying to come up with summertime and the living's easy, but crypto centric. So summertime and the gas ain't easy. Summertime and the yield ain't sleazy. Summertime and the charts look breezy. Summertime and the rugs come easy.
Yeah,
Summertime and the
summertime and the
rugs
rocks come
come
easy.
easy.
That's what it's gonna be.
Summertime and I'm
The
go.
charts are not greasy. They're gonna, fall through floors.
Summertime and the
Uh,
dips real greasy.
mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay, you guys, but here I'm gonna yeah, do a little bit of tofu chan for relaxation. It's time to relaxing because I kind of thought that would be appropriate. And then we're gonna close out the space tick.
That sounds good.
I love to do it tomorrow. I'm gonna be in Crypto Moonlight Lamb and back tomorrow morning. That's gonna be fun. I kind of need some sleep. I'm kind of seeing some maybe longs. I need to put in like 6 hours from now. So at least be looking at them.
You
So
think
let's.
Bitcoin's getting rugged because of the internet being down?
Huh?
Bitcoin's
Hold on.
getting.
Well, wait a
I
minute.
was saying, do you think that Bitcoin's getting rugged because the internet is down? Do you think that's having something to do with the rapid
No,
decrease in the
this
price?
was very much no.
This was
Look, I
coded.
told this morning already, we got to hold this price. If we're not holding this price, we're going to lose confidence there. And then you're going to see what's happened now. We needed to hold at 106.6, 106.8, and depending on what chart you were looking at, that is what we needed to hold and didn't do that. And a lot of traders that do technical analysis like me know these floors. And when it doesn't do that, you gotta be all right, cool. We accept that fact. We're gonna lose confidence, rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
So the down that you see are those guys. All right, Bitcoin's not doing that. I'm gonna get out of this trade.
Mm-hmm.
If they were betting on all-time high, that scenario just went now out the door.
Yeah.
At least for a little bit to come
Yeah.
until we need to
Not this
figure out what
weekend.
else we need to do. But when the further we get away from that all-time high, the more we
Right.
need to do to get there again. So,
Yeah.
and these RSIs, they do not look good on the higher time frames
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
all.
Death
And
cross.
now, well, now that daily cross is starting to point down, there's now a cross coming that is looking to point down. If that happens, there's bearish divergence being created that is going to play out over the summer. And so the scenario that I was looking for, that wedge with the lower highs, lower lows, that channel we come
Mm-hmm.
into, and at one point at the end of summer, September, it's going to try and break out of there, build market structure. Quarter four big pumps. Basically, that is the most likely one to play out, and that
Yeah.
was already the most
Was it
likely one, right?
80-20 or 70-30?
Oh, 80-20 here.
80-20
Yeah,
now, huh?
right. Yeah, yeah, maybe 70-30 not too long ago, but that,
Right, right.
one more thing went out the window here. So,
Yeah. It's
uh,
another box keeps getting checked.
well,
Yeah.
I kind of said it at the beginning of the space too. I kind of said it this morning. I know I want to be bullish with the rest of everybody and be like posting higher, higher,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
uh, it's got, I mean, I want to have an argument for you. The argument was that doji, right, on the weekly, and the bullishness of the dominance. That's kind of like arguments for another all-time high.
Yeah.
But that weekly RSI is overbought, and even though that doji was printed, there's that doji before was printed. We did sprint up, but then we did that with the RSI being only on 50 points, so we had like a long way to go up, right?
Yeah,
And we
Michael
just
Saylor
didn't
needs
know
to
from coming.
buy some more. We should all email him and be like, "Hey, pump this
Now,
chart."
what needs okay? So now then, what needs to happen for another all-time high? Okay, take that daily RSI, that 4 hour and the daily need to come back down to the floor in the least possible down that we can do that in. So on the chart, we need price not to fall as much, and then bring that RSI down in that move. But that also doesn't like it doesn't look like it wants to do that, because if I'm pulling up that 4th hour now on
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin, we just made like a no, no, it's relaxed that 4th hour. All right, cool. Yeah, yeah, did nothing to relax that daily though. That just went down 1 millimeter, 1 point in that move. So
Yeah.
that is that's that bearish diversions that it wants to create there. You can just see it, right? You can smell it here. It's just classic here. So, um, yeah, for now, this was the bottom. Tomorrow we might pump for here, and that's why I'm looking for my longs, right? Friday is always good pump day. So and that's why I said I gotta go to bed and be up extra early and see where I need to place my longs. I'm gonna set some alerts before I go to bed to see just that I don't miss out on those,
Nice.
because these are looking for some the people who shorted this, and I kind of should have, right? But I was kind of getting on the train of everybody higher, higher.
Yeah.
I was like, eh. Right? And then I forget to do my shorts, because when I see bearish, I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna short. But I was trying to be bullish with the risk and didn't take the opportunity because of that. But there's gonna be a longs opportunity coming in, because on the 4th hour, this was the bottom. Let me actually look at let me just put an indicator on this funsies just before we really close out, right? So let's just clean up some indicators, or else I'm gonna have a ton of information on there. Let's have a look at that. Um, is it this one? Oh, yeah, yeah. Let's look at the market bottom. For now, on the 4th hour, this looks like this one's wanted to be the bottom on the 4th hour. So yes, I do expect some, but also on these market bottoms, bearish divergence there. So just, 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 just putting it out there. What I see, right? So immediately also there. So we are moving in back into quicksand on that 4th hour again with this move. But yes, it is relaxed on the floor. It does indicate that this was the bottom, this candle on the 4th hour. So the next 4 hour might be looking to recover. I might look for pump. So I need to go ahead. It's going to happen within 8 hours before that reversal. So I can put my trades in that time. So that's why I'm going to go to sleep. That's how I'll outmost. So we're going to do that. It's time to relaxing by Tofu Chan. Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa, it's me, Tofchan. I've been having a bit of a rough day, so I thought you and I could take a second to relax together. Do you want to relax with me? Okay, let's do it. Sit in a position where you feel comfortable. Now, with me, take a deep breath in and out. Relaxing feels nice. Sometimes it helps. If you think about something relaxing, look at my ears. They are so fuzzy. Wow, I feel much better. How about you? Anytime you are feeling stressed, you can come back to this video and find some relaxation. Goodbye for now. Production.
That's so lame.
Here,
His dog is literally just sitting there, like, with his tongue out, like, yeah. These Shiba Inus, I love them. If I ever want a dog, I want a Shiba. They're assholes, by the way, character-wise, but
here. Let's see how this turned out real quick. One second. Here. Okay.
Any other day, I would check my gains, you would say.
No, I don't like it already. But say my chain. I was trying. Let me see. I got one more here. Let's see if it worked.
Any other day, I would check my gains, you.
Nope, didn't work. Didn't turn out how I thought. I wanted to get say my chain, but anyway, it was worth a shot.
say my chain. I'm sorry. I just didn't think that was say my chain doesn't do.
It doesn't really work. Yeah,
No,
it's kind of lame.
doesn't rattle my well, whatever can rattle.
Doesn't tickle your. Yeah.
Let's
Fancy.
just do the most bullish song out there.
Yes, there we go.
That was
What is the ticker? Where's it at? I got crypto in the bag, send the CA in the chat. Gonna ape another fact. Got a runner on the map, Solana sniping like a gat. And the Sobe is moving quickly. I'm the squeeze them where they at. I'm trying to bring the Minquins back. 1,000x is gonna land. I got chilling in the back, and the gas fees are gonna slap. Where's the ticker? Where's it at?
Yes, another space. So enjoyable. I had a good time with you guys. Thank you all for showing up. I'll see you in the moonlight tomorrow. Stay bullish on yourself, Dick.
Stay bullish, my friends. We'll see you later.
Oh, wait, we got for free. No, we're not. I'm going to rock this space. What's the ticker? I'm going to bed. The ticker is sleep.